Let's get going. Okay, everyone, I've just clicked go, so I believe we are live. Welcome, everyone, to episode 16 of the Xbox Live Party Podcast. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and I am joined by my regular group of cohorts, as always. This week we have got Fabio, we have got Alucard, we have got Slayer Exclusive, and we've got the Jinner, and I don't believe we have got KY Bob this week. I think he's drowned in his KY jelly. So it's just us guys today. If Bob does show up later, then I'm sure he'll jump on. But for now, it's just us. How has everyone been this fine week?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
Tired.
not too bad. Yeah, tired.
Really tired.
Apologies to anyone who's watching this live who was hoping to see us yesterday. We don't really skip Saturdays, but unfortunately I had something I couldn't get out of, which meant I wouldn't get back home till about 8:30, so I wasn't here ready for the start.
Here's the thing. I'm sorry, but who the fuck is watching this live? Because right now the Green Pass Gaming is doing their podcast at the same time. Because
I know we don't.
Worst time possible.
We don't like to go different days because there's so many other great podcasts out there. So we try not to do Sundays or any other days, basically. But it happens to us. I mean, if Xbox 2 podcast delays to a Saturday, it affects us. It's just life. But we're going to do it. We didn't want to miss another week. So we're here on a sunny Sunday, and we're going to jump straight in because there hasn't been a huge amount of news this week for a change.
Pretty weak, actually.
Yeah, in terms of big announcements, there hasn't really been much. So we'll jump straight in with what everyone's been playing. Fabio, what about you? What have you been playing this week?
So far, what I've been playing was mostly Forza games, both Motorsport and Horizon. Like, I've played Forza Motorsport 6, but that I just got from Xbox Live Gold because I wasn't able to buy it during its time, and sadly it's not available anymore at the Microsoft Store. So my only way to play it is with Live Gold. That's live, but it's really such a great game. It's with games like that make me feel like it was worth it for me to, instead of buying an Xbox Series X and sell my other consoles, to keep my One X and then buy a Series S, and that's it. Like, so good. And Forza Horizon 4, there's nothing much for me to talk about it because it's so great. I can't praise that game enough. Simple as that.
Amazing game.
Did you play what's that new Super 7? Have you played those?
Yeah, quite like
No,
that.
I haven't.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Because you can make them. People make them and then you play them. Yeah.
I had one where someone made something and it just ramped up into the sky, and to the point it broke the map, and then you just shot down it, and then it broke the game basically, and it just sort of crashed out. It was that it was that high and that quick.
Jeez.
It absolutely broke the game. It was great. So I just had to reboot, but it was worth it. Falling through the floor, it would drop you in between the buildings you weren't supposed to be in between, and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy. If you haven't played Forza Horizon 4, or you have played it and you haven't played this DLC, it basically sort of...
Fabio's on it now again.
Fabio's on it now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's already playing it. Yeah. Already starting a race.
Yep.
But basically, it makes it like a...
Brazil! Ha!
It makes it like a playground, doesn't it? Sort of like Dirt 5 has that creator zone. It sort of makes it like that, but anywhere on the map, and you can like spawn dinosaurs and stuff like that. It's just mad. It's funny as hell. And trains. I just like spawning dinosaurs on top of trains and making people drive through them and stuff. Stupid, but good.
I haven't found anything. I want to find that crazy stuff. I haven't seen that. That's funny.
I think they've added a lot to it since I last played, though. When I first played it, it was there was only about 20 different items you could use, so it was very limited. But people use their imaginations and make some really crazy stuff.
It's almost like modding. That sounds cool.
Yeah, basically. Oh, I think Fabio was still here. Still here, Fabio?
Yes, I am. It's
No
just
worries.
because I went to close the window, so nothing nothing else comes here. Simple as that.
You been playing anything else but Forza then, or is that pretty much it?
No, pretty much just Forza because end of semester and then I'm really having too much work to do. Oh yeah, we played Halo 2 on Legendary. We were not even able to end the first level on co-op.
After about half an hour, 45 minutes, I was like, no, I'm done with this fucking game. And
is it the Jackals?
No, it's the fact that with Halo 2 compared to the rest of the games in the Master Chief Collection, when you play it co-op, when one of yous die, it reboots to checkpoint. All the others, you can sort of like have the other player hide while someone respawns. Halo 2 doesn't do that, and on Legendary, it was just immense. You were taking like 2 hits and dying, and it just wasn't fun. You start with nothing. You don't get any grenades till like near the end of the level, and it spoiled a good game because Halo 2, not Fable 2, that's also a good game. But Halo 2 is a good game, but I'm gonna have to play that on Legendary on my own to get through the Legendary tiers because playing it co-op it just makes it harder. Like it unnecessarily, excruciatingly, painfully hard, and it's just not fun. It wasn't fun, was it, Fabio?
Yeah, like no.
The
actually,
solution: don't play it on Legendary.
At the start, here's the thing. At the start, we were having a lot of trouble, and then we discovered a way for us to try to run with it. That was trying to use Rainbow Six Siege tactics. Crouch and go slowly there so we can kill everyone without them notice that we are there.
Oh man!
And then there was a moment where there was nothing else for us to do because we were throwing grenades and then the fucking elites didn't die and then.
Oh yeah, some of the firefights in that game can get intense. So.
Like such a nightmare. We had almost no ammo, so every single time we ran out of ammo and then we had no grenades and we just died.
And we just gave up in the end, which is a shame because Halo 1, even though Halo 1 was difficult on Legendary, we always progressed at least 1 or 2 levels a night. And Halo 2, it's horrible. Just the fact that when one of you dies, you both die. It just spoils it, and I wish they'd patch that out.
Yeah,
we had progress on Halo 1. Like, are you talking about the moments where you throw grenades at to the enemies? The door closed, the grenade bounced back to us and killed us both.
Yeah,
talking about that progress.
Always good, always good.
I'm surprised you just gave up instead of just lowering the difficulty.
We're only doing a Legendary playthrough. We're trying to get the achievement for finishing it on Legendary, so there's no point.
We're simple as that. We're stupid.
How about you, Alucard? Bob's here as well. Hello, Bob. How's it going?
What's going on, Bob?
Welcome.
Came in under the radar.
I'm playing Red Dead 2. I'm sure you guys have seen that. I'm playing it like fuck, man, like 6 or 7 hours a day. Like, holy shit. Not online, just the story mode. Yeah, like that game is so much to unpack in that game. You could do anything you want, and that's what makes it such a time consumer. You know, you get lost. Best story, best characters I've ever seen.
That's official. Alucard is official. Alucard just abandoned instead of the K2. That's it.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
this is the best game I've ever played. I mean,
he's not excited. He's not excited anymore for instead of the K3. That's it, guys. Game over.
No, because they're different games. So, but
have you gone through your Sadie Adler crush phase yet?
Yeah, Sadie Adler. Oh my god, that woman's tough. One tough woman. Holy shit. And she's in the online, Red Dead Online also. So that's cool. But they added some of the characters into the online mode. I might pay online, I don't know. Because it's different. So you have to worry about getting killed all the time by other players, which I don't like that. I don't want to be harassed all the time.
That's how I feel in Sea of Thieves every time I play.
Yeah,
literally. Did you see the stats of
Red Dead?
No.
Oh,
But I could tell you yesterday I tried playing it and it was the first time ever playing that game where like I played it for like an hour or two. I was trying to do the Order of Souls missions and I got attacked and I just after that I got sunk and I was like, you know what? That was the first time that I've ever like just got so annoyed that I just lost like my will to play that game for the rest of the night. I was just like, nope, done with this.
Yeah, it's tough because Red Dead, if you die, you lose. Like if you have pelts, which is fur from animals that you've hunted, if you die, you lose them.
All of them? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just the pelts. You don't lose like. You also lose money too. You lose like a percentage of your money too. So dying, there is a penalty to it, which I think that's good because it makes you more careful, I guess. But I had like perfect pelts, which you use that to make stuff like new gear, and I lost them, and I was so pissed. So, because perfect pelts, you have to find a 3-star animal, and then you have to shoot it cleanly, like in the head, and you have to use the right kind of gun or right bow and arrow, otherwise it reduces the quality. This game is so detailed. It's not even a hunting game, and it's so detailed for hunting. It's insane.
I mean, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of the experience.
Fishing is ridiculous too. You get different lures and stuff like that. You have to use different bait for certain fish. It's like, this game is amazing, man.
So in that aspect, it's like Sea of Thieves. You gotta get your loot and get the hell out and try to sell it as fast as possible before you get attacked or killed.
Yeah. I get jumped by like hillbillies and other gangs. Oh my god, like there's like these crazy hillbilly gangs that like, and they're like covered in sores and blood, and they're all like cannibals. I was like, holy shit, this game is crazy. Well, that's what I'm playing until I'm done.
Only one game, but it's
because it's so huge.
6 hours per day. Yeah,
an intense game.
What
it
about
has everything you want.
everything under one roof. Is that what it is?
Yeah, right. It's a jack of all trades.
What about you, Bob? What you been playing this week?
You're muted, Bob.
Oh, he's on mute. Rookie.
I've got one of those old school keyboards, you know, the click, 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 because that's the way I like it. And so I have to mute my keyboard if I don't want you all to hear all the click, 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 clicks. I've been playing a lot of Zombie Army 4 since the Series X update.
Nice.
It is beautiful. It is just amazing. 60 frames, full 4K, or dynamic resolution at 120 with ray tracing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Did it have any improvements with the reflections of that game?
Yes, I noticed that last night. I wasn't really looking for it until I read that it did include some ray tracing, and then last night I was in front of a portal to hell, or actually it was a portal out of hell, where I was fighting the demonic Hitler.
That's awesome.
And I noticed.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is it the new DLC?
No, I actually haven't gotten into any of the DLC campaigns yet. I'm right at the end of the original, what launched with the game. And it wasn't until I had read about it that last night I actually looked for it. And when I was in this area where there was this big portal that was leading me out of hell because I was trying to escape, I looked at it and it had a bunch of like red, oranges, glowing light coming off the portal. And I turned and looked away so that the portal wasn't in my screen. So I knew it wasn't screen space reflections, and I could still see the portal reflection on the shiny railing around the platform that I was standing on.
Awesome.
And yeah, it looked good. It looked really, really good. I've been playing that, and of course, you know, I'm an Outriders faithful. You know, I rode Anthem to the bottom of the ocean until it died. So I'm gonna ride Outriders until it dies. Oh goodness!
So far,
I played,
no problems at all.
I have still not experienced any of the Outriders issues that everybody is complaining about.
You're so lucky.
Wow.
It's because he's a faithful. Simple as that.
Yeah, I've only experienced like 1 or 2 bugs so far in that game.
Why is it different for other people? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Is it your internet connection or?
I think it's just like random to like what you
faithfuls.
do in the game. You know, like if you just happen to trigger something in the game in a certain way that other players do not, you just become an unlucky person that just gets, that specific glitch or whatever.
Yeah.
So KY loves the game, and then other people are like, "This game is so broken that they uninstall it."
Yeah, you just get unlucky, unfortunately.
I've played Hood too, and I like Hood.
Yeah, that game looks cool.
Same.
It is.
Same,
It's
same.
really neat. And HR Bomber on the Gaming Beyond the Box the other night, Wednesday night on their show, said it was broken. And I'm
that
like,
game
I've
is.
not seen anything broken.
So, in my opinion, that game is broken in terms of the balance because I tried playing it for 3 hours and I was so excited to try out the assassin chick and Hood, Robin himself, and it's just like you have no chance. If there's like I went up against a team that had like 3 Johns on it, the guy with the hammer, and it's like that guy is so overpowered that you can't do anything. You just get
He
wrecked.
is OP.
He is super OP.
That's why he's my go-to.
Yeah, so then I was like, you know what? Screw this, man. So like the last hour of my 3-hour playthrough, I was like, let me try him out. And then I was so the first 2 hours I was actually trying to be stealthy, and I got like maybe 1 or 2 kills. We won like maybe 1 or 2 matches here and there. Last hour, tried out John. I won pretty much every single match, got like 10 to 15 kills each game. I was like, what the hell is this, man? There's no point of the other characters if this guy is so overpowered, man. Ridiculous.
They should make it.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I think they should make it to where, I mean, if you're going to keep him as overpowered as you are, you need to limit each team to only having 2 of those, and then force the other 2 players to be support players.
For sure. And also, he can be stealthy too. So it's like, what's the point? He can literally crouch in a bush and assassinate you too with his hammer. Like, it's not silent stealthy assassination, but he can still do it. Like, it's ridiculous. What the hell, man?
It's like he's hard to kill, and Robin has got the distance attack a bit, advantage. Other than those 2 characters, it's just like, okay, the other 2 I feel like are just filler.
Yeah. Now the thing with Robin though is like, even though he does have the range, it doesn't really matter because like the fact that John can also pretty much run as fast as all the other characters. Like when I played one of my games as John, there was like 2 Robins on there, and unless you're like super good at aiming and actually landing headshots, I literally just sprinted up to the Robins all the time and just smashed them to death. Like they were just no chance.
Yeah.
I was like literally just like swaying side to side, like dodging all their arrows, and just did the hammer attack. They're just like, oh well, there goes that.
But other than the games, I've been working on a new template in OBS. I will be doing live game streaming called Game Set Live Streaming with Bob.
Nice.
And
nice.
Last night I finally got it worked out to where my party chat will actually be on the stream also.
Nice.
So that everybody can hear us all talking to each other in the party. So
cool.
So I don't know when I'm going to do the first episode, but I got it all set up last night, did some test streams, got some feedback. So I've got everything set right now.
I'm just waiting for you to invite us. It's taking so long. Come on.
Hey man, I'll play Zombie Army 4 anytime.
That game was so fun.
Yeah.
I'll play Outriders with you so you can hear me getting frustrated, getting kicked and crashing all the time so you can experience it.
We still need to play that second extinction.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, second extinction's pretty good too. It's hard if you're solo. So hard.
Yeah.
I was using like the MSG, I think it's called, or the machine gun, and it made it a lot better. I was like, it's made the game a little bit easier.
You were trying to play with the grenade launcher. It's so horrible, man.
Yeah, but you can your secondary weapon can be a machine gun. I was able to do it.
I just play. I play that shotgun chick with the shotgun and the
That's
assault
the
rifle.
most OP weapon.
It's amazing. I just destroy. I mean, me and Fabio finally got through all the missions the other day. So there's like 6 or 8 missions. We've finished all them now. But oh my god, she just demolishes through people sometimes. And then with the fire grenades.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So what about you, Slayer? What have you been playing?
Oh man, it's been busy 2 weeks. You know, as you guys know, I missed out last week, so I have a lot to talk about a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that. So I played a lot of indie games. I'm not gonna name them all out because it would be a long list. I will mention one, Rain on Your Parade. I played through all that whole game. Awesome game. Loved every minute of it. It's actually going up on my YouTube on a daily basis right now.
Nice.
I played through Freddy Spaghetti. That was kind of a nice, interesting indie game that I found out through Ghostbuster. A little bit
fantastic.
It was kind of fun.
Super Zach, Game of the Year.
Not Game of the Year, but good.
Yeah, it was interesting. There was like one level that I found really frustrating because just the way the game mechanics work. It was the one where you're like jumping from platform to platform in the future city. That was kind of annoying.
I found that one hard, but it was the one that pissed me off the most was the last platforming one where you're dropping down. Because every time I landed, I just fell off the side, and I was getting angry with it at one point. I was ready to like snap some spaghetti. I was just mad, and then suddenly I just did it in one go, and I was like, "Well, that was easy."
I think that part I had to retry like once or twice. Yeah. When I finally like started to understand like okay, like where the actual like the platforms are, I was like okay, maybe I can figure this out. So that was kind of easy. Other than that, like I said, I played Hood. My regular games, Rocket League, Sea of Thieves, I play those pretty much on a daily basis. Hood was fun. I actually finished. I made a pact with myself to finish Outriders, the story. So I did that. Literally finished that story yesterday. It was very interesting. Not going to spoil anything, but not what I expected. That's for sure. Definitely some loose ends that I felt like weren't really fleshed out, but hopefully they will in the future. And other than that, my final game is actually like as you've probably seen on Twitter and on my YouTube, is very special to me because it was my first game that I ever like tested the waters of YouTube, and it was Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations. When at the time when I was like testing, thinking about it, I was like, what would be like a good game to start with? And I actually thought I found that game because when I was playing through it originally 2 years ago, I was playing through the DLC, and so the main game I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. But then when I went to the DLC, sometimes like especially those kinds of games where it's technically a point and click adventure game, but it's not point and click. It's actually action based. I like to follow a guide, and I actually didn't find any, not even on YouTube. And I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to since there aren't any on YouTube, I was like, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to like actually try to play it through myself and put it up, so that way it's actually like I'll probably be like the first person to upload it. And it actually turned out to be pretty successful. Like in a month or two, it had like over 200 views, which for me may not sound, that may not seem like a lot, but for me that was like pretty intense. It's like, wow, okay, I can actually do something about this. So that was that basically started my whole journey of trying out YouTube. And so now I'm playing through the whole game with commentary, because when I played it through the first time, I had no commentary, nothing like that. So it's gonna a nice little fun project that I wanted to do. So glad that I get to do it now.
Is that the one that was free with Xbox Live Gold, or is that the other one? Because I know there's a couple of Adventure Times, isn't there?
So Xbox One only had this one and the Pirates of the Enchiridion or something like that, I think it's called. That one was like more of an RPG, and I think that's the one that was free.
Yeah. I've got them both,
this one,
but I've not played either of them yet. And I think it's the pirate one. I think you're right, because it's got a picture of a boat on it for the
yes,
Xbox.
Exactly.
With games with gold, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what I didn't know until I actually looked it up when I was working on putting together the description for my video for this playthrough, this one actually isn't available anymore. I think they lost a license or something like that, so it's not even on the store anymore. Yeah. I'm able to access it because I bought it when it like first came out. Yeah, so I have access to it. But
I bought it in secondhand physical because I never saw it on the store, and I was just shopping and I saw it, and I tend to pick stuff up that I haven't seen on the store because normally that means it's like been delisted and stuff like that. Like I want to pick up that Deadpool game because you can't get that anymore. But yeah, it's on my list to play, and I like the fact that it's like it kind of plays like a point and click adventure. I'm a bit more interested to actually play it sooner rather than later now, so I might have to give that a go.
I think I'll literally start the Pirates again because I played through that one again not that long ago, and that one was really fun. I think I'll play through that one again to upload it to YouTube as well. And speaking of Deadpool, I actually have Deadpool as well digitally, so I think I remember one of you guys saying that it wasn't on the store anymore. So I'm glad that I have it in my collection, so that way I don't have to worry about that. Because that game is also really fun and funny, hilarious game.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It is fun because it's funny. Because everything else is real simple and it doesn't innovate enough. But if it is fun, then that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely not innovative, but it's for what it is, the genre, it's a good game.
Sure.
Definitely worth playing through at least once.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Gina?
Been quite a busy week for me. For once, I've actually played a lot of games. Yeah, I'll get to that.
Where's your rage? Give me your rage on that game.
So, yeah, I've been playing more on the Rita Boy. That's the one I'm enjoying. I got really drunk last night, and I made a review of Rain on Your Parade. Can't really remember what I said. Yeah, I can't remember what I said, so the video's up. I haven't watched it back yet. I may have spelling mistakes in the title. I haven't even checked. And then I played 40 minutes of Narita Boy and uploaded that. And all I know is I died a lot and missed very easy platforms. So there's some people who've been watching my playthroughs. Apologies, this one's painful. You're just going to watch me die, miss people when I'm fighting. I was hammered while putting that one up last night.
But now it is totally justified because we all know that you were drunk.
I was very drunk, yeah. I'm a lucky guy. I don't get hangovers, so I managed to get really drunk, play Xbox, wake up the next morning. I'm like, I feel fantastic. What are we doing today? You know,
I only get hangovers if I drink the cheap shit. That's
Wow.
If I keep it above the bottom shelf, I'm good. And while you're talking, Gina, I have a good question for you. A bit of news in the soccer world over there. How do you feel about that latest championship?
What's happened? I'm not sure what's happened.
Oh wow!
I thought Mannheim just won. They just won something, didn't they?
Over Man City won the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Newcastle supporter, which means I constantly live in misery and disappointment.
Are you not in relegation though? You're just above.
Our owner's been trying to sell us for about 4 years, so we won't really buy any new players, and nobody will buy us. We're just kind of clinging to mid-table Premiership. Like best seasons when we got relegated and we won everything. It was great.
I don't know if you know much about the NFL. I don't know if you know much about the NFL, but I've been a Cleveland Browns fan my entire life, so I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
We used to be good, Newcastle. We got to the Champions League, beat Barcelona. Asprilla running around with his hat trick, with his shirt on the corner flag. Oh, back in the glory days. It's a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Back when I was a wee kid. Kevin Keegan quit.
That's how long ago it is.
I know. Then we had a little bit with Bobby where he started looking good again, and then as soon as he went, it's just been a downhill shit show ever since, to be honest. But it's never boring.
It's official. We are now a football podcast.
Yeah, right.
Moving on from football, I also I played a lot of Second Extinction this week with a couple of my brothers. I love that game. It's fun. It's not like deep or has a big storyline you need to get involved in. It's just point your gun and blow things into bits. It's great.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing: does Second Extinction needs a story? Any kind of story? It's just kill dinosaurs. No. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Whoa! There is clearly a one-page splash screen with story before every mission. That's all you need for story. It's all there. You've just got to read it.
You pay attention to that? Really?
No, I just skip it, but it's there.
Yeah,
When the game
then
first
shut the
loads, you
fuck
get a
up,
news
goddammit.
bulletin.
Yeah,
You get like
exactly.
a weird news bulletin, don't you, when the game first starts up?
Yeah, and it keeps
I like
changing
to
the
try-
world. It always baffles me what's going on. It just starts up
Like,
and everything
I like to-
changes.
I think the
like to
humans did
translate-
bad this week because the whole map is red. Apart from
Like
one zone,
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
red.
Like, here's the thing. I like to translate all that text before the mission to there's dinosaurs, they are bad, kill them. What is that?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
I'm
it.
good with that. No
Yep.
worries. No worries. There's no need for nothing else. The game is only that.
Yeah. Dinosaurs are bad, wipe them all out. But if you see their eggs, grab them instead of
There's no-
destroying
there-
them. Yeah.
There's always a little piece of advice. There is always the same saying: the shotgun is the best weapon. Simple as that.
Yeah, it is. I use a shotgun. It's great.
Good man. Good man.
I played Falconeer, which I know Fabio
Mm.
is
Go on.
looking
go
forward
on.
to talking about. Well, you know
Go
how
on.
people say Outriders is a game from last gen with the amount of like cuts of blacks and the game design, and I think that's a bit unfair. The Falconeer is a game from the 360, maybe OG Xbox era, if you take it into account how the missions are laid out, the voice
Damn.
acting,
Mhm.
the story.
Yep.
Graphically, it's pretty. It's got a nice art style.
Ignore the. You're not speaking about the human characters. Those are horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
Please.
So yes, that's the main problem, is that you get like a story is right. We're gonna do this. These people are very mad at us, and you fly somewhere, fight about 3 enemies, and fly back, and that's your
Yep.
mission. And then you get this Cockney guy who sounds like Ray Winston, and a Northern Irish guy who sounds like Conor McGregor, arguing
Yep.
about something for about 5 minutes. And then you do another fly here, kill
Oh,
3
man.
people, fly back, and then you get those two arguing again. It's funny unintentionally. That's the best thing about it, is these 2 people trying to deliver a serious story, and one of them's doing the worst Conor McGregor impression you've ever heard. So it's got that going for it.
That sounds like.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say really quick. That sounds like that Phoenix Rising game where I think it's Zeus and who is it that they're arguing throughout the whole game?
Oh,
It's
the
kind of
other
very
god,
similar.
and they're just bickering
Yeah.
all through the. They're-
Yeah.
Zeus
But that's
and
good.
Prometheus, something like that.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying it
Hades,
just sounds very similar to that.
Yeah, just imagine that, but with terrible voice acting, and it not as
Oh,
good,
Yeah,
man.
but
and
yeah,
just
but
not
like,
an enjoyable
with
game
the-
on
on-
top of it.
but like on Phoenix, the arguing is funny. On the
Mm.
Falconeer is not intentional to
Gotcha.
be funny. But like
I was a big fan
Go
of Crimson Skies, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Falconeer
Yep.
really made me feel that again with the controls and the whole scheme of it. It was kind of wonky in some ways, but it was about time for another Crimson Skies type game. And the developer, Salus, he even said that was his inspiration because he loved that game.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like I was expecting more of a Crimson Skies feel on the Falconeer also, but I can see some elements there, but I haven't felt necessarily like, oh, this is clearly I'm feeling the same way as I felt when I was playing Crystal Skies. Like, but I like that. I like the Falconeer, but like consider this as a indie game made by one guy, mostly
Yeah.
one guy, and with its maximum score to be 6 out of 10. But if you really like it, 7 out of 10. Simple as that.
You are generous, sir.
I'm trying to be fair. Like the guy, the developer, it was like made by one guy almost the whole game. Like I appreciate all his.
That's
work.
really
I
good,
like
actually.
it.
Yeah.
But go on, Jenna. Give me your rage. Go on, tell us.
No, I'm yeah. I haven't played much of it. I've played a few hours. It seems longer. That's all I can say, really.
Were you drunk there while you were playing?
Sober playing. I wish I was
Sober?
drunk. He would have made it much more fun. Especially Irish Conor McGregor. I'd have found him so much better.
I actually thought that game, when I heard about it, I thought it was going to be like falconry, where you control like a normal size falcon and you make them do stuff. That's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a giant falcon that you ride on. That's
You fight dragons and shit. It's weird.
Yeah,
I
it's a
didn't
very
know that
strange
when
game.
I first heard about it.
It is the weakest launch game I played out of all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's not the worst
Are
game,
you-
and it is done
are
by a
you
small
saying that-
studio, but it's bad.
Like, are you telling us that Tetris was better than the
Yes.
Falconeer.
Tetris actually
Tetris is
works
great.
and is fun.
Tetris, you get a few
Yeah,
friends
I
on the
know, I know.
multiplayer mode. It's brilliant.
Yes, exactly.
I know, no, that Tetris effect was really good.
Even that
Really.
Bright Memory Infinite, they're like no, not Infinite, Bright Memory. It's
The
not
demo.
Infinite. The demo knockoff demo that you pay for game, I found more
The
fun than the
paid
Falconeer
demo.
because at least that had really fun combat. It was a weird short demo that made no sense, but it was at least fun to play in like half an hour chunks. Whereas the Falconeer, I didn't enjoy any of it at all, in my opinion.
When is the full release to Bright Memory Infinite?
He took his money
I
and
don't
disappeared. No one's heard anything since he got that demo
supposedly,
money.
Supposedly, Microsoft. I was reading this the other day. Supposedly, Microsoft have given him some money or like invest in it because it's idea Xbox, and he's actually hired more people to help. It's still a small team, but it's got actual other people helping with it to bring it out. But there isn't an ETA. Maybe we'll hear about it at E3, but I think it'll be next year at least. Which is a shame because it's actually a crazy fun.
It's fun.
Mad like shooter / like hack and slash game. It was really fun. It's just a shame it was so short, the demo, for the price.
You just need to change the controller sensitivity because it's so slow to turn around and aim at things. You pump that up, and after a while, it's great. You're chaining combos together. You're shooting, hitting people with swords, getting your shield out. I enjoyed it. I think it's a great little game. I can see why it got slated because they charge £7-8 for a 40-minute game if you plow through it. So it got what it deserved. And then I tell you what I played last night. Outriders. I've parked it since launch because of all the issues I had. I had a 2-hour session where it didn't kick me.
Wow.
And then it did.
It kicked you.
And then it did every 5 minutes after that till I lost my shit and turned it off again.
No.
We turned the world tier up 2 levels in that 2 hours, and when I started getting kicked, I was also getting my ass kicked by the game at the same time. So it was load in, get the shit beat out of me for 5 minutes, and then get disconnected. And after a few goes of that, I was like, I need to go grind with Bob. I need to get off here for a bit. Let it fix.
That's what the problem was. Bob logged in, and because he's a faithful, they're like, just switch Jinners off. He don't need it. Give all the service.
All the resources.
To Bob.
As soon as I start the game up, Square Enix goes through their Rolodex and says, "Yep, we got his love letter right here. Give him everything."
Some guy in the server room going, "This Jinner sack of shit's come crawling back. He can do one. Bob's ready."
Wow.
But no, that's me this week. I've played quite a lot of games. I've been happy. And
nice.
What about your 10-minute reviews?
I've done, actually, speaking of Bright Memory, Infinite, whatever, I've actually done one when I was drunk last night. So that one I do want to check before I upload. So I'm going to double check that one.
To be fair with that one, though, it'll actually be the full game, so it'll be a decent review for 10 minutes. So
I might just do the first 10 minutes as my 10-minute review and then just play the next 10 minutes and finish it in one playthrough.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did a Rain on Your Parade 10-minute one, so they're both going up this week as well.
Nice.
I did watch the Edith Finch one earlier today, and it did make me chuckle. I just sort of I don't watch what you're playing. I just skip to where the 10 minutes ends, and then I watch what you've said and just try and just see if it sort of reminds me of when I played it. I was like, that's about right. That
yeah. This is a walking simulator that tries to be clever. Too many trees.
Oh.
It's a good game though.
It's a great game.
So many trees. 7 out of 10.
Too many trees. Play Firewatch then, if you think there's too many trees in that game.
I actually enjoyed Firewatch.
So many
though.
trees.
No, I did too.
Apart from the end, I got lost at the end. When the actual fire starts everywhere, I had no fucking idea what I was doing there. It took me about half an hour to get out to the end, when it should have took me 2 minutes. I think there was like a left and a right. I went left instead of right, and I ended up going around the entire map again trying to get out.
Oh wow!
And I beat that game.
It's a good game. I really liked it.
Yeah. I didn't get lost in that game like you did, but I just felt like the ending was a little bit. It just left on a cliffhanger for me a little bit. I was just like, I wish there was a little bit more resolution to this. Like I think that what they were going for was like, oh, you guys could figure it out. Like, just use your imagination. Everyone will have like a different like outcome or something like that. But it's like,
Yeah.
I also thought like I was really hoping you would be able to see, Delilah was her name, I think, in person.
Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was it was such a shame. I was like, oh wow, I'll actually get to see her, and all you get to see is these guys that help that rescue you. And it was just like, oh wow.
We don't want to have to pay for another model. I mean, what do you
Yeah,
want?
no kidding.
It was a good game.
Great
Though.
game, though.
That one
Yeah.
that was one of those games where I didn't know what was coming next. Like when you went to that campsite and they all think you're like a pervert and a peeping Tom, and then they all disappear and it looks like they've all been murdered, and I'm like, what the hell is going to happen next? I enjoyed that. I was like actually suspenseful all the way through, and like when that kid goes missing and you're like, oh, what's happened to the kid? Has that guy murdered him? And then no, he hasn't. I'll not spoil it, but but it's got some right twists, and then but the last sort of like end bit, it's a bit lacking. It just sort of ends, and you're like, oh, that's it. No one sort of no resolution for anyone really. So
so yeah, I mean, with what you're saying, like it, a lot of the time, the first time I played through it, I was like, wow, is this a scary game? Is this a horror game? Like, you know, like when you first see that guy and like when it's dark and you're going back to your tower and you see the guy like flashing, you know, has the flashlight, and he's just like looking at you like, am I gonna die right now? Like, am I in danger? Is there combat in this game? Like, I didn't think so. I thought this was a walking simulator. What's gonna happen? And then all those other things, like you said, like when you think like that, you know, certain characters get killed off like by some like murder. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is very different from what I expected it to be.
Yeah, but so play that if anyone and everyone's listening who wants like a quickish game as well, especially now there's this 10,000 gamer score challenge in May. That is a good game to play. You can get through it in a couple of hours. I'd say
a lot of Easter eggs too.
A lot of Easter eggs, but I mean, if you wanted to use a guide, you could get through it in a couple of like quite quickly. But I recommend at least playing through it without a guide first, and then using the guide for anything you've missed, like any secrets and stuff like that, because it's got a really deep story. Like it pulls you in. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't like give you that release at the end that you need, but it's so engaging when you're playing through it.
So, what about you, Ash? What have you been playing?
I haven't played a lot this week, to be fair. I started off
suffering with Halo 2.
Yeah, besides Halo 2, I started off playing quite a few. Just some of my games I've had sat waiting because of this 10,000 gamer score challenge thing. So I sort of blasted through a couple of them. I'll not name more because a lot of them were shite. Ones that stood out though were The Park, which is done by Funcom, who made Age of Conan and The Secret World. And I've had this for ages, and I didn't realize it was a walking simulator. I thought it was like a mini horror game because the pictures looked like it was Silent Hill-y, and that's what it gave me, like Silent Hill vibes. And it's not; it's a walking simulator. But
I mean, it is a horror game though. It was
it's a horror game
where I actually did get scared. Like when I streamed it, I actually played through it again in Halloween, and I actually cursed really loud. There was that one jump scare when you're like looking down at in the alleyway, and you're looking down at like you're investigating something, and then you turn around.
Oh, there's bunnies there.
I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's got that one jump scare in the entire game.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad game. It's not a bad walking simulator. It's set in like an abandoned like theme park, and you go on all the rides. Basically, all you're doing is going from ride to ride and riding them, which I thought was quite cool. Like you go on the Love Boat. It's not a Love Boat, but like a boat where you sit on a swan boat and go around. You go on a roller coaster. You go on a big wheel. You go in a haunted house, and I like that idea. I like the setting. I just thought the main protagonist is one of the worst people known to man. She's a horrible human being. She basically is just like, fuck my kid. I don't give a shit. I wish I didn't have a kid. And I'm gonna. And then the ending is like, she kills him. She literally just stabs her child with a fucking screwdriver. And then it's like
spoilers.
No, because I went into it and I was like, if I was feeling really shit, this is one of the worst games I could have played. It's so depressing. It's
also a pretty old game.
Yeah, it's quite old, so it's not a super spoiler. But the fact that it's literally you play as someone who just murders your kid at the end of it, and then it's like, but did I murder my kid? And it's one of those really sort of, what do you think, people endings? Did it really happen? Did she actually murder her kid? Is she a murderer or did she not? And you're like, oh. And it's horrible. Literally, it gets worse. It starts off well, like, oh, where's my kid gone? I need to find him and all that. And I'm remembering coming here when I was younger, and it gives me good memories. And then it's like, oh, I fucking hate my kid. Fucking kids. Who needs kids? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And you're
it's
like,
pretty
what?
intense.
It gets really intense. It's horrible.
Pretty intense.
Here's a nice message. Here's a nice message for future parents.
Yeah,
Who needs kids?
Like I say, if you suffer from like sort of like depression or something like that, and you're feeling low, do not play
Not
that
the
game.
game for you.
It gets worse, and it's cool. It's very artsy, and the graphics aren't that bad. I mean, there was a lot of pop-ins. I don't know if that's just because I'm playing on Series X and it's catching up quicker than it should in like the original hardware. Like the grass as you walk, you could see it loading in some sections. But yeah, it's just such a terrible end. And I couldn't believe how bad it was. So, but that, like I say, it's an hour with a guide, couple of hours without a guide, another decent game to get on for achievements.
It's like one of those games. Sorry, just real quick. It's like one of those games. I don't know if you guys ever like play a game where you feel like this, like when you're thinking about like when they're talking about these ideas for the game, and you're like in the boardroom with all these developers, and you're like, who would think of these things?
Someone with a lot of issue. Supposedly, though, that woman, the woman in it, is actually in the secret world, the MMO that isn't an MMO. So it does,
interesting
to say that it is canon to the secret world, and she does have super like special powers and stuff like that. Supposedly, I was reading up about it, but I haven't played the secret world since launch, so I couldn't say for definite. But other than that, I played a few other little sort of games. I played Your Toy. I haven't finished that yet. It's another sort of horror walking sim. If the developers ever listen to this, please do not make achievements based on random fucking luck. There is an achievement in this game where you have to there's a certain section of the game where you go through and you have to find a key on the first guess, and there's like 10 possible places it could be, and you have to find it first time. If you don't, you have to reload your save. I mean, you can keep playing, but if you're an achievement hunter and you don't want to play the game again, you could be sat there reloading this 20-30 times to find this key, and it's half an hour into the game and about half an hour towards the end. And it's not a good game, and the fact that you could be searching forever and still never find this bloody key, I couldn't believe it. And I've stopped playing it for now because I couldn't find it about 4 times. I was like, right, that's it for tonight. I'm done. I'm not playing this game twice to get to this point because there's no save. You can't save the game on separate files either, so you can't save it there, play through and not save it to that same file. It just auto saves over it. There isn't like a set save, so I can't go save that in slot 2 right where I need to be, and I'll do it when I get to the end. So I've stopped with that because that were terrible, one of the worst games I've ever played. Then I've played What the Dub with my wife, and this is really fun. So What the Dub, it only came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this is like a party game. You play it on your phone, similar to the Jackbox games and all those other quiz games that are on
trivia game,
console. Right? Yeah, basically. And what it is it's all old movie clips and TV clips. And then at a part way through it says blank, and you type in what you want it to say, and then it reads it out, and then whoever you vote on whose is the funniest. But
I like the sound of that.
But it was based on, there was one called Know Your Words or something, or Use Your Words, and this was like one of the mini games of it, and they've now expanded it into a full game. So it's just constant, just watching little like 10-second clips and then dubbing in little bits, or at the end, or at the beginning, or in the middle. But this version, it actually reads out what you type as it does it. So it's like la 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 la, and then it reads out your bit, and then it keeps going. But I was gonna stream it, but it was extremely expletive driven, shocking, and people don't want to need to see how sick my humor is sometimes. But
nice,
really fun game. If you've got a couple of friends around, it'll be really fun. I mean, it's better with 3 players on upwards, because I mean, when you play 1 or 2 player, it's not really competitive. You're just doing it for fun. But the 3 players up, so when I get like more people around in the future, when we're allowing more people around and that, it'll be, and like family come around, it'll be a good laugh. And like I say, it's actually got stuff, special stuff built in for like Twitch and stuff like that, from what I can gather as well. So people can vote while they're watching you play it as well, which I thought was quite good. But it's funny. It's only like £6.99. It's a really cheap game, but I've had a couple of hours of fun on that. And as soon as I can maybe do a less rude version, I'll probably show it. But
maybe don't invite us in to play with you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Fabio.
But I guess so.
And then the main thing I've been playing this week.
Definitely not when you're streaming.
Yeah, definitely not when you're streaming live.
Did we get that KY Jelly sponsorship after?
Not yet, no.
No.
Disappointed. Bob, you need to get on that. I'm one of those people. If they said, "Would you put it here?" I would literally stand and hold it through the podcast, just because I think it'd be funny. So
I will do the stream with it smeared all over my face for the money.
We get to 1,000 live views. I'll do it smeared in it in a jacuzzi in a bikini. I'll have 1,000 live views at once.
It is recorded right here.
That's the way to do it.
You heard it here first.
Sponsorship,
if any of you
please.
can clip this later and get this shared on Twitter, that'd be great.
Please.
We'd probably get more views.
Like sentences out of context. That's it. Just
around
put it there.
The 50-minute mark. 20 seconds.
There we have it.
And
I
then...
think we are done for this episode, right? I think we're good to go.
I love how we're going. This will be a quick episode, and every intro is getting longer and longer before we even get to the subject.
Do you know what that is? There's that many games.
I know.
Let's go.
And then I'll round it off.
Games. How can we talk about this so much? I don't get it.
I'll round it off quickly. The main thing I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Valhalla's Druid DLC. Really good. It came out Thursday, and I finished the campaign already. I think I put about 14 hours into it over the last 2 days. Really good.
Can't wait to play that.
Yeah, if you like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's just more of the same. It's got a nice story to it. It's got a lot of new area. Like I say, it's in Ireland now, over the England or Norway. It's got like a cool druid cult sort of storyline to it. New love interest, which is quite cool. And yeah, and it actually played out well. It actually ends. Whereas I don't think the main game really has a proper ending at the moment. It just sort of like peters out. This one has like a start, a middle, and an end. And I've enjoyed it all the way through. And there's some new mechanics for like leveling up trade posts and stuff like that. And there's loads of different sort of like daily sort of challenges and that you can do for King's Orders, they're called. And there's loads of new armor, loads of new items, clothing, stuff for your store and stuff like for your settlement and stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed it. Like I say, I'm just sad it's been so long, and then I've literally blitzed it in 2 days. So my goal is just to sort of finish the last couple of achievements off, sort of like find all the secrets, get all the like quests done and stuff like that. But the main story's done and dusted, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend it, and I'll probably do a video about it separately in future. But yeah, fantastic. I think it was a lot smoother and less glitchy than the main game as well. So I didn't have any issues with any glitches as such, apart from once where it sort of teleported me halfway across the map, and I was just like, oh, why am I here? Just totally out of the blue. But other than that, I've had a lot of fun with that, and I'll probably be playing it much more over the coming weeks. So that's all I'll be on now.
I think it's funny how he started all this by saying that I haven't played much this week.
Yeah, right.
We just had like 40 minutes of his bullshit. Like
that's not a lot for me though. Like I say, I think I've only played about 8 games this week compared to where I'd put in sort of like I'd play 2 or 3 a night, and at the moment I'm only playing about 8. So, and a lot of them are rubbish.
I think like biggest intro ever.
Yeah. Well,
what a comeback.
Well, we'll jump into the news. There's not been, like I say, there's not been any sort of major sort of mind-blowing bombshell news this week. The first bit we've got is Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance.
Yes.
Has been announced that it's coming to Game Pass on day 1, which is awesome. So it's coming to Xbox One, Series X and S, Windows 10 PC, and phones and tablets via xCloud Gaming Beta on June 22nd. And it'll also have crossplay for PC and console. So this looks like it's like a 4-player. It looks like Left 4 Dead, but with D&D, from what I can gather. So you like play as different classes. There's like a dwarf, a hunter, elf lady, a big bloke with a hammer, and then some like dark elf bloke. I'm not really good. I apologize. I'm butchering D&D lore. So it's like a third-person action brawler.
Ash, are you talking about it's D&D, not Warhammer Vermintide? You're talking about D&D, not Warhammer Vermintide, okay? Because your description was exactly the same as Vermintide, okay?
Well, it's like that, but it's third person, not first person. But basically, it's built around 4-player co-op, and it looks really good. The graphics look absolutely fantastic, and the fact that it's going to Game Pass day one is another win for the service. So, yeah.
Any fantasy game, I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll play it.
There are so many of these squad-based drop-in-and-play games coming out at the
there's
moment.
Too many. Oh my
And
God.
a lot of them
need
seem
as
to
well
be
is-
Warhammer-based as well, like either D&D or Warhammer as well, I've noticed.
Yeah. We need one that's more than 3 or 4 players, like a good 8-player, so I can actually play with all my mates. Like, that'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool.
4 seems to be like the formula now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of free players like Second Extinction, Deep Rock
3.
Galactic, and stuff like that.
3-player thing is so weird.
Just lazy. They don't want to do the last bit of work for that one last player. Bugger that.
Just
Especially games that have like 4 classes, like Outriders. Like, come on, are you serious?
Well, I thought that with Second Extinction, there's loads of classes, and it's such a big world. Let everyone play and just make the difficulty harder. Because there's plenty of space. There's not like it's thin, small corridors most of the game. You're in a big open world. So, and you could you could have like people drop on either side and stuff like that. So,
yep.
Oh, yeah.
It looks good though.
Yeah. If you're a D&D fan, it's free. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, I'll be playing it. I'm assuming a couple of you guys sound like you will as well. So that's always good.
Definitely.
I'll play it.
I might not do a full playthrough, but yeah, I'll give it a go with my mates. I'll keep going offline.
Any of you guys are?
I haven't played that yet. I really want to. I've just never got round to actually sitting and playing it.
It's a fun game.
I'm waiting for their next one. Is it Dark Tide? It's called the next Warhammer co-op one.
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, there was Vermintide too, right? So
this one, they've all got guns and they're like modern day marine type things. It's more of a shooter than bows and arrows and stuff. It's like
and that was also coming out over the summer.
Yeah, that's
it's great.
And that's Game Pass as well, I think.
Yeah, Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm annoyed though. The Necromunda game that just came out wasn't on Game Pass, which sucks because I love Necromunda, and that's like Warhammer based and it's squad based and stuff like that, and they didn't make that.
Oh, the Underhive Wars?
I have no idea. I just saw Necromunda and was like, that I like Necromunda. I see there's a new Necromunda game out on the store. I really want to get this at some point, but it's on like to play soon. I don't know if it's multiplayer, single player, but I was gutted it wasn't on Game Pass, so I'll probably pick it up when I get sort of through a bit of this backlog.
And we're being spoiled when you're annoyed something isn't on Game Pass.
Exactly.
Instead of being excited something is, we're now at the stage why isn't that on Game Pass? It's day one. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I wouldn't buy it though. I will pick it up, and it's just if it was on Game Pass, I could be playing it now. Whereas now if it's not on Game Pass, it'll get added to the list of I will buy it when I've got either some excess cash to buy it or there's nothing out that week that I'm currently getting, which is what Game Pass has sort of allowed me to sort of do. I can literally play twice as many games a week basically. So. Always fantastic. We'll jump on to the next bit of news. So, Gabe Newell has hinted that Steam games could possibly be coming to consoles. So, he was at a talk at Sancta Maria College in Auckland, New Zealand last week, and he was asked by a student if Steam would be porting games to consoles, and he sort of like paused for a minute, had a think, and went, "You will have a better idea of that by the end of this year." Now, this sort of blew up for a day or two, and everyone was like, Valve games coming confirmed, Steam's getting a new console confirmed, Valve games on PlayStation confirmed. Valve games on Xbox confirmed. Everything under the sun confirmed. And clearly, the only thing,
3.
Yeah, it's the only thing confirmed is Half-Life 3. Clearly, from what he said there, was Half-Life 3. Yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
It blew my mind when I saw this, and I was like, if this actually is true, this is gonna be insane. Because I have quite a few. I own quite a few games on Steam, and if I can play those on my console, which is where I prefer to play, because of the fact that I work on my computer 8 hours a day, so I like to take a little bit of a break from my computer. So that would be pretty awesome, especially because like the fact that the potential of PC only games on a console is pretty exciting.
Total War.
I don't know. I mean, do you guys think it's going to be like streaming, or is it going to be like full-fledged ports?
I don't think it's going to be ports.
It wouldn't surprise me though if it just turns out to be Valve games coming out on consoles. It won't be all the Steam games. It will literally be like like we've had Left 4 Dead, we've had Halos and stuff like that. If it's just ports or re-releases, or even Left 4 Dead 3 when it finally gets released, because supposedly that's been in works for years, and they just announced that it's coming out again. Halo 3 is finally coming.
Valve doesn't do freeze.
I'd be happy with any of that. I'd be happy with Half-Life Alexa coming to Half-Life Alyx coming to consoles with either with VR or not, just so people can play it. I don't think it will be Steam itself. Personally, I don't think they're going to stick Steam onto a console, because all those people that have got games on Steam would complain that they could then lose potential double sales. The same with GeForce Now, because people, like a lot of companies, blocked their games from being used on GeForce Now because they said it was sort of competing with what they wanted to do. So I feel like it could be possibly like some sort of streaming, or it'll just be sort of Valve games coming to Xbox or consoles in general. I don't see Valve doing their own console. That doesn't make sense. They tried that with the Steam machines and it failed miserably. We've got that god-awful Steam controller with a touchpad, thumbsticks. It was awful. I had one. It felt like a cheap tat, and it like clicked when you push the back. It was horrible.
Oh, man.
Maybe they'll buddy up with a KFC console.
That's it, yeah.
Which is a great looking machine. The specs on that thing is incredible.
But it's not a console, is it? It's just a PC.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's calling itself
chicken
one of the most powerful consoles.
Play games.
Yeah, keep your chicken warm once you play. It's great.
Play some games. Yeah.
It's bad though. I still want one.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't nowadays? Simple as that.
I've never heard of anybody actually buying one. Well,
No.
It's not on sale yet. That's why.
Yeah, they're not out yet.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Honestly, KFC is on point with its like stupid memes and stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
they brought out
their marketing.
A Colonel Sanders dating simulating game is on Steam. You can't make this stuff up. They even brought out a Colonel Sanders Lifetime movie. Do you know, like a lovey-dovey, really cheap, nasty like TV love film movie about Colonel Sanders and some random woman. It's amazing, and they've actually got someone who's like semi-famous playing Colonel Sanders. So whoever at KFC thinks of these stupid ideas and then makes them into reality is amazing.
Deserves a medal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, it's a bit off topic from Valve, like, but hey. But yeah, I don't think Valve's bringing games to consoles. I think we'll see literally the KFC console out before we see a full working Steam on a console. Definitely.
I think Bob's got his goggles on to read between the lines.
Yeah,
what Gabe's trying to say, to be honest.
I was going to ask about that. Like, what's going on, Bob?
Those
he's the new Sam Fisher. Didn't you guys hear?
Infrared goggles.
They're the night vision goggles that came with Modern Warfare 2 Collector's Edition.
What?
Don't remember that.
They work. They work really well.
Did you not blind yourself with how light your room is?
I don't think
I don't have them on. I've got them shut off right now.
I guess just don't walk around in your neighborhood with that at night. man.
I think
What do you
we
mean?
hear
That's
him
what he
screaming
does.
that we're on right now.
When I
Jenna,
first got him, I walked around my backyard, and I was like, "There's no light in my backyard. I got 2 acres, and so behind the garage, there's absolutely no light." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, these actually work! I got these with a video game, and they actually work! I can't believe it!"
Nice.
That's so cool.
Like actually, I think it was our mistake. We should not ask about the goggles. Like, if the time felt right to use them right now, that's it. That's what matters. Simple as that.
Damn. I'm surprised that they work.
But like,
Yeah, they take 10 AA batteries though.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
5
a lot.
controllers.
yeah, I was going to talk about that.
5 controllers.
That's expensive to be like for like to be like a stalker then. Just kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
To work.
You see,
Unless you got one of these, and then it's no
I actually got
controller.
that. Nice.
You see, if any of us would have won that fucking competition to get the Bethesda controllers, you could spend your AA batteries on them instead of the goggles.
Oh, that would have been cool with us all having one of them, wouldn't it? That would have been ace.
Yeah. Those are really
We
nice.
had the idea.
Has
we had the
anybody
idea
else
to
besides
share
me
it.
noticed that Fabio's video is lagging behind his audio? So he'll be like talking for like 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden his camera it'll catch up, and all of a sudden, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's hilarious, man. It's kept me entertained.
Every now and then it happens, yeah.
My mic muted me again then because people walked in the room and I hit mute, and when I hit unmute, it stopped working again. So the last 30 seconds, a lot of battery jokes you didn't want to hear is probably for the best, to be honest.
Give us
May
one.
have involved that pending sponsorship with KY Jelly. So
If KFC want to sponsor us as well, I'll happily sit here eating chicken as well.
Oh,
So-
hell yeah, me too, man. The Famous Bowl, let's go. I order a Famous Bowl every Saturday.
I want a
my
Taco
favorite.
Bell sponsorship.
I'll take any. I'm not going to complain. Taco Bell, you give us a ring. Mackie D's, Burger King, I'll take any of them. I'd rather have
Wendy's.
KFC or we ain't got Wendy's over here yet. It's coming back.
Oh, no?
supposedly.
yeah, going to war.
All a quarter
Burger
pound
King.
cheese.
Wendy's chili, man. It's the best.
Is it actually called a Royale with cheese?
Yeah.
Mm,
Wow. Pulp Fiction didn't steer me wrong.
Oh, next up on the list of news. We'll
Moving on.
We'll move on before we run out of time in life. Scarlet Nexus is that anime game that's been announced, coming to all consoles, is getting a demo next month, and it's going to be Xbox exclusive for a timed period. So basically the same sort of thing as Resident Evil 8, which we all laughed about and complained about last week or the week before, is now happening on Xbox, and I don't condone it because I think it's stupid.
yeah, it is.
But the game comes out on the 25th of June, and the demo will land on the Series X and S and Xbox One on the 21st of May, with the PS4 and PS5 following on the 28th of May, so a week later. But I'm a little interested in the game, but this whole time demo thing, in any sense, any company, I hate. It's a demo. We don't care.
Exactly.
The only time I would say a time demo was fine was if it was like given away in a magazine or at an event or something. But we don't do that anymore.
Yep.
We're in the digital age. Phil, if you give me a demo a week, it doesn't make me want to rush out and buy it more on Xbox. It doesn't. Same with PlayStation.
Yeah.
Giving me half an hour early access one day don't make me want to rush out and buy Resident Evil 8 on a PS5 any quicker. It's just stupid, pointless. Spend that money on making the game better, more advertising, anything.
Yeah.
But time limiting demos is shit, and it's a really scummy practice. It's just a stupid, scummy practice.
I think that this is some sort of advertisement, like an exclusive demo, but still, it's a really bad way to do this. To be honest,
It's supposed to be like a trick to make you think that it's an exclusive game. Like, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I can
Exclusive.
think of. Like,
It doesn't even
And
look like a
this is
good
the
game
moment-
though. Like that good.
It reminds me of Resident Evil 8, how Sony got a 24-hour
Yeah.
advance on the. I mean, give me a fucking break. 24 hours on a demo. What did they? I don't know how much they paid, but even if it was $1, it was too much for 24 hours on a demo.
5 million in paid advertising is what they paid for that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it was meant to be a week early, wasn't it? And then everyone took the piss, so they only did it for 24 hours and then just dropped it.
And then I think the last one was literally ended up being like half an hour or something stupid like that. If that,
Yeah.
it was something really stupid.
Wow.
What are you gonna do? Hop on social media and spoil a demo? I mean,
Yeah. But like, here's the thing: do we all
I wanna
agree
brag
that this
about
is
it.
stupid and totally
Yeah.
unnecessary?
Yeah, exactly. The only redeeming quality of it, it's not a time locked demo, so you don't only get to play it for half an hour and then it deletes itself like the Resident Evil one did.
But
it's still a shitty practice. No, it's still a shitty
it doesn't
practice.
change the fact. It doesn't change the facts that just because it's a little bit different in comparison with the other one.
No, it's all
not
bollocks.
as bad. Like,
and it all should be
like
stopped. But demos
Yeah.
also
Ubisoft
shouldn't be
essential-
time limited either, in like the sense that you can only play them for a certain amount of time.
Like I think we need to be fair because there are so many times where we said that PlayStation fucked up, and now we have to be fair that right
Yeah.
now
Oh,
Xbox
yeah,
fucked
definitely.
up with that decision. Simple as that.
It's just, I don't know. It means nothing to me when I see that. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it just
mean,
means
even-
like it just means that this is stupid, in my opinion. Doesn't
Yeah, I don't know
change
about
the
you
fact
guys.
of anything.
I don't know about you guys, but even if like let's say Xbox got like an extra hour of the demo, like where there's no like time limit, like let's say like you just get 3 hours, whereas PlayStation gets 2 hours, it's still stupid. Like that wouldn't make me like say like, oh, I want to buy this on Xbox. Like, if that's not my preferred
Yeah.
console, like it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Like for me personally, I don't know, like I don't like demos in general, just because like for me it's enough to like look at screenshots and look at gameplay. And then like know like, okay, I think I may enjoy this game, and then like I'd rather just like play it myself if I'm actually really interested in it. Like I don't really waste time with demos. I can't even remember the last time I played a demo.
Exactly.
'Cause like I'd rather just play the real game, the whole game, like right off the bat. Because if I'm playing a demo, then I'm like, okay, and then when I actually play the real game, I'm like, well, I remember this from the demo, so it's kind of like not that exciting anymore,
Yeah, like to be. It's been a while.
The only thing this really works towards is it's cannon fodder for the fanboys. And I thought both organizations said that they were against fanboyism, but yet they go and pull this shit with a demo. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only ones that are using this, this
How is that cool though?
advance on it. It's not. I know, but you remember how the SSD used to be a GPU also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, the fanboys will make anything out of nothing.
Remember,
here's the
audio
thing,
loads straight from SSD to the screen. It doesn't need RAM. It doesn't need a CPU. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to know what else is going on. It's on your screen, even though it's audio.
Right.
Straight from the SSD.
I saw one of them
Yeah,
earlier.
no,
Unlimited graphics.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
are
it
going
knows
to
how to
have
sync
that-
with the video automatically.
Ash, we need to tell the people when we are going to release that fanboy cringe video. actually.
Yeah, I've been working on a thing about silly fanboys online, and I've finally sort of sorted it out to do it. I've just got to record it now, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
Call me when you do it.
Yeah, in the next
Or you
sort
do.
of
I got
week.
a couple more for you.
Yeah, hopefully
From
this
today.
week I'll have time to sit and record it. It's only going to be about 5-10 minutes long, if that. And it's just looking at stupid people from all consoles and the stupid shit they post online, and it'll be funny. It'll just be us having a laugh at people being stupid. But I haven't had time to record it yet. I've got a pile from the last sort of month that we've been sort of saving of screenshots of idiots, and yeah, it'll be funny when it finally comes out, but it's just getting the time at the moment. I haven't got enough time to play games, never mind make videos about idiots who don't ever play games. So
Bob, go. God damn it!
Fallout helmet.
I wonder if he has collections.
It looks like he's going through his collection right now.
So
are we back into showing off our stuff like the last time? God damn.
So you're a Fallout 76 fan then?
Come on, I've only got Ryu and Chun-Li here. You're showing me up. Come on.
I don't think he can talk right now.
yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
But,
don't put on Chun-Li outfit.
While we're
No,
talking about
it's-
stupid fanboys,
I got that. There we go.
while we're talking about stupid fanboys, news came out this week that for some reason stirred up the fanboys in weird ways. That the Fable game made by the people that
Playground
make
Games.
Playground Games who make Forza Horizon was being made on the Forza engine. And people seem to
Ooh.
kick off about this and think this was a bad thing or that it was stupid. And it's like, well, one, it's their engine that they've made. Two,
Mhm.
it's one of the best looking engines out there for like scenery and stuff. And it
No,
works
like,
fantastic.
Have you
Forza.
seen?
Go
Go on, Alucard.
Okay, Forza Horizon is a RPG racing game, and it's open world, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
But
here's I don't know about the RPG part. I would mostly say open world arcade game, but I wouldn't consider it necessarily an RPG, but I can see an RPG working on that. But like, have you seen Forza Horizon 4? How it looks?
Oh,
yeah.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Like, it's just gorgeous. Why is that a bad thing? I was excited. I liked to hear that. Oh, they are going to use the same thing. Awesome.
Yeah.
The weather system, in my opinion, probably one of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dynamic
For sure,
weather.
it
I
is.
mean,
Could you
Dude, if
imagine a
that's
Fable
phase-
with
Crazy.
dynamic weather where it like
Oh,
changes
yeah.
seasons?
Man,
That'd be
That'd be
great.
awesome.
the immersion of that, I can't even imagine it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
So
Forza, the weather changes every week, so
Yeah.
it's every Thursday.
Well, the season, yeah, but I'm saying, but like,
Yeah.
but other than that, it has like
Even
random
in the
rain
race. Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Yeah, the
nice.
seasons is every week. Yeah. and
Yeah.
then
The
the-
skyboxes
rains.
and how they change during the weather is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's not just like static,
So-
like clouds in the sky, blue sky is just like it's actually like it gets cloudy, it's rain sometimes. It's amazing.
Like,
Because
there are
Ash-
so many.
I say, as Ash knows, I had quite a lot of fun on this this tweet of the guy who put the thing up. He was like, "Oh, how could they dare use this?" And I pointed out that the Fox engine runs both the Metal Gear games and Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
And then I put a massive list of all the games that run on Unreal and all the different genres they're in. It's like, yeah, you don't have to keep an engine to one type of game. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fucking idiots, isn't it? Let's be fair.
There's like here with into this episode we have I think this is the first one, but we also have another one to the end that is some sort of thing that why are people discussing about that? Why are people still arguing about that? Like, it's so fucking obvious, and it's not bad. Simple as that, goddammit.
People are arguing
I
about
don't know.
everything. Like they were arguing about Ratchet and Clank being 1080p or 4K. No, there's not even anything official out about it. Who cares? It still looks good. I was watching the state of play of Ratchet and Clank. I was like, this looks nice. I'll play that. When I get a PS5,
I think
I definitely want to play it. But go and play games. Stop arguing on Twitter about a fucking plastic box. Play a game on your plastic box.
Like, I think it's funny, like, oh my god, Ratchet and Clank runs at 1080p. I'm a Series S owner, goddammit.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll shit on you
What
when a
is that
game
about?
comes out in 1080p. Don't
Yeah,
you worry.
exactly.
They'll be straight on you.
I know
Here's-
about that, but like,
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
care. If it looks good, I'm okay with that. I don't care about a certain number on that.
I think a part of it, and I'm sure you guys agree, is that people are a little worried. I'm sure there's people out there that are just crazy and they just want to go about stupid crap on Twitter. But I'm sure there's some people that are probably taking this a little seriously and they're just like, remember what happened to Anthem and Mass Effect, right? With Frostbite's engine, that didn't end up very, very good because those engines weren't made for those kinds of games, and that's because they were made for Battlefield, which and so. But here I think the difference is that Playground Games, I'm pretty sure, is not being forced to use their Forza Tech engine. I think they're, because like whereas EA, they kind of forced those studios to make those games on that engine. They're just like, nope, you're gonna do it. You have no choice. And they had trouble like working the programming out of it, aspect of it. So, because like as you can see, like Microsoft is open to using other engines. I mean, Coalition is using Unreal Engine. Like they're not like stuck to like, oh yeah, when we're only going to use our proprietary engines and that's it. So I think that's probably why people are a little worried, but I don't think they have to worry about it because I feel like if Playground Games is probably comfortable enough with the engine that they can make the changes and work on it and then actually like implements it well into Fables. So only time will tell. But
they're comfortable with it. So.
And the other thing that I think is really good to know is that even if they ended up seeing that it's not going to work, Microsoft has been showing and giving us the impression that we are going to give you all the resources that you need. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. We are going to give you all the money and technology for it to work. Simple as that. Or change it completely, and that's it. No worries at all. Like.
One thing I was going to say on the back of what Ash said about watching the state of play of Ratchet and Clank, going a bit off topic, I watched a video from Push Square, who put a video up, and it's just the usual fanboy drivel, but it does look great. It's an impressive game, but they said something at the end which annoyed me so much, where it got to the end of the show, it was showing how good the game looked, and they said, now you've seen how good it is, do the right thing, go out, pre-order, support your devs. Oh man, fuck off. After Cyberpunk 2077, if anyone is pre-ordering games, you got something wrong in the head. They ain't selling out. You're not going to be able to not buy a copy. Wait till the game's out. See what happens. There's game breaking bugs.
We're in the digital age. There's plenty of copies in the digital age.
Yeah, I don't understand pre-orders anymore. I don't get it.
Look at Returnal. People bought it and they were like, oh, you have to play it 3 hours every sitting. I haven't got that time. So, if you'd have waited a day, you'd have found that out.
The advantage to pre-ordering though is that your console will preload it as soon as it's available. So if it's a 60 gig game, it's going to already load it with 6 days before the game releases, and there may be a patch on day one.
Didn't they update the Series X so you can do that now? For games you haven't bought, you can pre-install in case you buy them later.
Yeah, you can do that on the Series X and S now. Any game on the store, you can preload it, even if you haven't bought it. Basically, it's so people who buy physical as well
I did not know
can then, because normally you buy your disc, you go home and you put it in, and then it's like, I have to reinstall the entire game and download it all because this disc is really just a key. It's not really a game. They've now done that, so any game on the store you can pre-download even if you don't own it. You just can't play it unless you either put the disc in or you buy it. So
interesting.
That also negates the need to pre-order. I mean, the only reason I would pre-order is for a series I know and love, and I would buy anyway. Like Fable, I'll be buying day one because I know what roughly Fable's going to be, and I know that Forza Horizon's great, and I want more of those games to come out, so I will do it. Like if Dead Rising 5 got announced, I would go out and buy it because I know what I'm going to get. But for new IPs and stuff like that, and even some games I'm not even super fussed about, I don't pre-order anymore. The only time I even pre-order is if there's like a deal on the reward points or something to get like a $5 back, and even then it's few and far between now.
I will do it if I know I'm going to buy it, and it's not incredibly, like, say it's only $3 or $4 or $5 more than the actual price of the game when it releases, and I get some sweet ass DLC with that pre-order. That's it.
Yeah.
You want that cool costume and that random mount and that random gun skin. That I want that gun skin to show that I've wasted my money. That's what I want.
I mean, it's never really more money than it normally is. Like you do get the extra stuff just for pre-ordering it. It's not really actually like extra money that you're paying for it.
Well, Resident Evil 8 had a little DLC pack with it, and it was like a $10 or more, I think.
Well, that's if you like get like the special edition or deluxe edition. But like some games where you pre-order them, you actually just get extra stuff.
Yeah.
Just for pre-ordering it. Like I think Biomutant has something, and they don't have deluxe editions, but I think it has like a costume pack or whatever that's coming free with it.
It does have
That
a
game looks
VIP
fucking
Ultimate
awesome.
Mega Edition with a statue coming out. I don't know if it's only in
Oh,
UK, but
Nice.
that game does look awesome though. That's something I
I
don't know
saw
what
the
it is though.
combat for that game. Holy cow! It shows you like jumping in the air and like doing like crazy moves and like it's really fast combat. I didn't know that it was going to be like that. That game looks awesome.
I didn't even know what it was till like 2 weeks ago. I've seen pictures of it, but I had no idea what the game is. And I watched that World trailer. I still had no idea. I just knew it looked nice.
I've been following that game since its E3 reveal.
Yeah, that game looks so cool because it's like I remember I used to play like remember Turtles, the desktop book game, or Rifts. That's all about mutations. Like you can mutate yourself with different animals. That's what that game is supposed to be. So you can constantly mutate yourself and have different abilities, right? That's what I was thinking. That it's
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah. So it reminds me of old desktop RPGs I used to play, and I would be like part dragon or part wolf. I would be a wolf and a raccoon. Like you can like mix it up. You could be all these different animals, like mutations. That's why I want to play it so bad.
Yeah, it does look good.
Speaking
go ahead.
of, I believe Slayer said something just a second ago. He mentioned E3.
Yeah.
You watch. We're going to get a in-stone release date, and it won't be far from E3 during Microsoft's E3 presentation for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Nice.
I want to play that. Yeah.
I can see it being one of those available nows. There's going to be a couple of those during there, and it's available now.
Because they said months ago that it was going to be summer of 2021, and then here, since they said that, it's been nothing.
Yeah.
So,
really quickly before we move on, since we're speaking of Ratchet and Clank and Insomniac games a little bit, I don't know if you guys saw. We don't have this on the notes for today, but I remember hearing the other day that Sony apparently renewed their license for Sunset Overdrive, I believe.
Yeah,
the IP a couple of weeks back. I think it was like the week before. They renewed the IP, but then I read somewhere that it wasn't them renewing the IP. It was like them accepting the update that had already been put in previously. So I'm not. I couldn't say for definite it's 100%. They've just like we're renewing it because we're going to bring a game out. It sounds like because of the whole over handing stuff back and stuff like that and everything. It was getting changed over anyway. And it's just sort of an agreement that they now own it, basically.
It doesn't necessarily mean that a new game is coming out. It's like Microsoft does that every year with Scalebound, and here we are with nothing yet.
Before we move on, one thing I will say is I am a bit of a hypocrite, simply because as much as I say pre-orders are bad, if there's a Halo one that's coming out with a big helmet like you got in the background, or the Reach statue I got and stuff, I'll be pre-ordering that because it's a series I love and I know it's going to be something I'll enjoy. But
I mean, there's nothing wrong with pre-ordering a game, like especially if you really love that series, like
I'm a sucker for statues. I'm a sucker.
Same. I was
disappointed, Bob. Your camera went off and came back on. You didn't have a different helmet or something on.
Is the Master Chief helmet even wearable? I don't think it is. Right?
No. Yes, on cats.
Look what you did there. He's going to bring it. That's it.
That was super cool.
One thing we haven't got on the list, which I thought was interesting.
Another thing.
Yeah. Well, Pete, because you talk about Ratchet and Clank, idiot fanboys try to compare Ratchet and Clank and Psychonauts, which is stupid. I'm not going into that because it's a totally different game by two developers with two different art styles. But Psychonauts 1 has just released on Xbox Game Pass, and I was like, I hope it's the version that came out on PlayStation, which had trophies, so it'd have achievements. That doesn't seem to be the case. However, Xbox support messaged me directly on Twitter and said that Psychonauts has got 37 achievements, and I'm like, well, it doesn't. So does that mean Psychonauts 2 will have 37 achievements?
They slipped. You're
Yeah.
the insider. You need to get out
That's
there.
it, yeah.
I think I loved how you almost said PlayStation and then you were talking about Psychonauts and then Xbox support talked to you.
Yeah,
PlayStation.
through our PlayStation.
That's it.
Yeah, infiltrated, deep
You need to get this info out there. You could be the next Jeff Grubb.
That's it, yeah. About the most useless information. I'm the insider. Yeah, there will be 37
Heard it here
achievements for
Insider Ash said. That's what will happen then after every podcast. Insider Ash says.
and then they'll be like, there was 38 achievements, you lying prick. You don't know anything. Oh, all right, sorry, internet.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting that they said that there was, because I put a post up saying, is it going to have achievements? And then they never replied. And then they PM'd me directly and said, yes, there is. It's got 37 achievements. I'm like, no, there isn't. And then they sent me like a template reply back saying, to get achievements, you need to go into your game and click the middle button, the Xbox guide button, and go over to achievements. I'm like, fucking you idiots. But the interesting thing is, at least, though, it sounds like they've just messed up there and Psychonauts 2 is going to have 37 achievements.
But like, it doesn't change anything. Like,
no, but
nice.
it's
we know the
interesting to
number
know.
of achievements, but
It's interesting to know. It's interesting to know.
Just gonna tweet out that Insider Ash has told me.
Yeah, do it.
Achievements.
Insider.
I've got receipts to
Insider-
back it up as well. Print that shit.
Insider, I'm a Ghostbuster set.
Yeah, don't put Ash. I'll not have a clue. You've got to put my online name. God.
I love like how don't put my real name in every episode. My name is Ash, and
Yeah, right.
I love that.
My real name's not Ash. I've just been lying to you for forever. That's it.
It's actually right.
I'm really Roger.
Right.
You name yourself after the ashes of the personality you left behind.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Getting deep, man.
It's a long con. I've got a fake Facebook and everything just to fool Fabio. That's all it is. Doesn't really exist. I set it up over 10 years ago, just ready for this long con. I was like, I'll get that sucker.
That's the catfish action right there.
That's it. Yeah. That bloke, that random guy with his camera will be knocking on my door soon. Like, we spoke to your friend Fabio, and he wants to know if you're really a man or a woman. I love that show. It's great. They're like, I've been speaking to my girlfriend. She's called Sharon, and she, for some reason, all her pictures look like Miley Cyrus, and I've never seen her in person. But I've sent her £10,000, and I love her. And then they get there, and it's like a big builder called like John or something like that, and he's like,
What is going on?
Really, Fred. It's nice to meet you. Beautiful.
That's so sad, though, man. Being that
Like,
lonely.
is every
that
episode's going to have something like that? God damn it.
But what? It's the fact that they go on telly to do it as well. It's like, if you were catfishing someone, why would you go on telly to admit you were catfishing someone?
I don't know why you would, but
Just to be in the spotlight for a little bit, you know.
I've been chatting to a 9'2" lady of the manor from Eastern Europe recently. I think it's going well. Can't wait to meet her.
Oh, did you see that McDonald's thing where it's like we may take longer to serve you today as all of our staff are off because of a large vampire lady, basically.
Oh my god!
It was like they stuck the paper on the like drive-through window. I thought that was hilarious. We will move on. We'll get on.
Please.
Before we do, Ash, you'll be happy to know that tweet is out there that you're an insider and you've confirmed the number of achievements.
oh no.
I've got receipts. I've screenshotted it just in case, so I don't look like a total tit.
At least we'll get one more viewer if it turns out to be true.
And that's the only bit of insider knowledge you're ever going to get from me. So another bit of news this week. PlayStation has launched in China, the PS5, and I think Xbox is launching shortly in China. But the other news to come out of that, linking to China, is Xbox has announced a partnership with the Tencent-owned Timi Studios to create new game content. So these are the developers of Honor of Kings and they're going to create new game content. It says it will be working with Microsoft's first-party Xbox game studios to jointly create excellent game content and bring new experience to players. And based in China, Timi Studios basically makes mobile games. So it did Call of Duty Mobile, Arena of Valor, and Honor of Kings. But there's not really any news on what they're working on or anything like that. But it is interesting that they're teaming up with a Tencent studio in China when the Xbox is launching in China.
Money.
That's it, basically. Yeah.
Call of Duty Mobile makes more than a quarter than Call of Duty makes now. So all they need to do is just sign up some of their IPs to copy and paste templates. A Halo online mobile game, and off you go, money.
I can't play mobile games on my phone, man. I just can't do it. I used to, and I'm like, what a fucking ripoff. God.
Especially when xCloud exists now. Like, when you just play a full game on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all the same shit. They're all like strategy games, right? Like most of them.
Spend the money on a Razer Kishi, and there you go. You don't need.
What I hate is they have like 20 currencies that you need to build up in order to move to the next level. So your health is down. Spend 15 rugger buggers, and then on there you can have 4 iron. And I was like, what? I just want to play. I want to make a move. What have I got to do here?
I played one I used to play, and I spent like $50 on it to buy like extra stuff, and the game got offline. Like it was canceled. It was just wiped out. So I couldn't play it anymore. And I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing that shit ever again.
I quite enjoyed Gears Pop, and then they killed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't a bad game.
I didn't spend any money on it, but I tried it.
I really enjoyed Gears Pop in its last month when they made everything super cheap and you could unlock loads of stuff. And it was actually fun and it wasn't super grindy. That was the best time in Gears Pop. The rest of the time it was horrible and it was super grindy. But the last month of Gears Pop was ace because you would literally get in like 100 boxes a day and it was just everything was leveled up and stuff. It was madness. It was great. But the
I
rest
was an insider for the Ubisoft Elite Squad game.
Right.
So I got early access to it and I played that through and I was playing that on my phone all the time and I was like, this is an amazing game. And then it launched and they did the exact thing you've talked about, where they just slowed progression down so much that I've got the full game now and I just never play it, even though it's free. So when I was on the insider thing and I was playing the, advanced copy, I was absolutely loving this game. I was telling my mates about it, and then it came out and I was like, yeah, sorry, don't play it. I made a mistake, guys. Don't judge me,
Why is it that like they have a ton of like Walking Dead games on your phone, but they can't make one like a good one for console?
Whoa. There's a lot of good Walking Dead games on console.
The
Telltale ones are great, but the action-based ones are terrible. Like, there was that Walking Dead, it was like a first-person game, and it was awful. You were like Daryl's Story or something, and you'd like wander around with like a little knife, and that was it. It was shit.
It's Daryl and his brother, wasn't it?
Yeah, it were awful.
The Telltale ones are fantastic. The only one I haven't played is Michonne's Story, which I think I'm going to do soon, because that's on Game Pass as well.
It's also good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good, but I meant like a real like action. The
Michonne one is a bit pointless though, because it's literally what happens after it because you see her in the other games, so she ain't dying unless you're really bad at the game. But
I mean, that first game is one of the ones that hit hard back on the 360 when you're playing with Clementine and what's the guy's name you play as?
Lee.
Oh my god, I got so invested in that game, and as I was going through, I was like, my god, this is going to kill me.
I was super into it for the first 4 parts, and then someone spoilt the 5th part the day it came out and told me how it ended. And I didn't finish it because of that. I was like, fuck you, and I gave him some abuse to his face for spoiling it.
I don't think I played the last one that just came out, like the last episode. I don't think I played it.
No.
The best.
Actually, no, I got that on Michonne to go.
The best version of it out at the moment is the collection one that was done by the new studio that's took over. because what they've done is they're all of them in one select collection, but the earlier games have had a slight tweak to them, so they've got the same more like defined graphical style as the last couple. So they've all got the same style all the way through. So they've just sort of tweaked the graphics on them all, and they run at a better frame rate and stuff like that. It's all in one, and like I say, they're the best versions of the games to play at the moment. So if you can get like a complete collection, then I definitely recommend that.
Spoiler, if you haven't played the second or third one, I love that Kenny came back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's just like such an angry, horrible guy, but I love him. And then he just makes, like, he's a real asshole in the first one.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turns up in the second one, he's just the polar opposite person. He's like mellow, he's found his chi, he's a lovely guy. And then something triggers him and off he goes again. Good old Kenny.
I've seen a T-shirt. I keep thinking I'm going to buy it. It says, "How is Glenn today?" And then you lift it up and it's just got Glenn with his head smashed in underneath it from the cartoon, from the comic. And I'm like, I really want that. It's on. I saw it on like Wish or something like that, and I was like, that's a good $10 purchase.
I don't buy much gaming merch in terms of clothing, but Narita Boy, I'm not on commission, I know I mention this game a lot, has some of the best t-shirts and merch you will ever see. This store is just
on commission.
Right up there.
Totally.
If I mention it 5 times, they pay me a tenner. So.
Narita Insider.
Narita Insider. Sounds like a porno.
Insider Gina says that.
Now, merchandising segue into our next topic, because this includes merchandise. We are celebrating 20 years of Xbox this year, since it first came out, 2001 to 2021. And this week they put a big post up about all the exciting things that are going to happen. So, original Xbox released on November 15th in North America in 2001. And they've got big plans for this year. So not only are you currently able to get fancy Halo and Xbox wallpapers, because nothing says a big celebration like that. They've obviously also added the original Xbox dynamic background to the Series X and S, which I've got on my console. It's great. I just wish it had the sound effects. There is a load of other stuff, so just give me a second while I get to it.
Professional.
Yeah, I've got it up here. So obviously they've made a big deal about Halo because it's also Halo's 20th anniversary. So if they do not launch Halo Infinite on the 20th anniversary of Halo, there's something wrong there.
If they ended up not releasing Halo this year, they should fire someone there at 343.
Exactly.
Because they are fucking it up so bad.
Every time I know a Halo's coming out, I struggle really bad, getting paranoid that some reason I'm going to die before it comes out and I'll never get to play it. So,
what?
Fingers crossed, I make it this year.
Damn.
No worries, Gina. If it happens, we'll play it for you.
In your memory.
It's one of my
the Gina memorial stream.
It's one of my irrational fears. Every time it gets announced, it's like, shit, I've got to stay alive for 3 years. Like, it just comes out of nowhere kind of thing. Like, also, someone's going to drop a pencil in the top of my Series X because of how big the holes are. I know it's not going to happen. I just get that irrational fear about it,
Right.
I'm just imagining, like, before any Halo announcement, YOLO. And then after, life is too precious. We need to take care of it.
Bubble wrap. As soon as that game's announced, bubble wrap. I'm staying in.
Before Halo, you only live once. After Halo, you auto lookouts. Simple as that.
It's the end of my rugby career.
So
to give it in, man.
The pencil holder. The pencil holder used to be next to my Series X. I moved it into the other room because I was afraid.
Oh, thank you. I'm not on my own. Thank God for that.
You need to watch the Lonely Island video of YOLO. It's so good.
Oh, I've seen it.
I got a bit into Lonely Island recently. I've got them on Spotify, and the Finest Girl is the best one. It makes me laugh no end. And if you haven't listened to the Finest Girl song, go and listen to it after this podcast. It is immensely funny. And I've got like I've got like 10 of their songs on my playlist now on Spotify. They just make me laugh so much. So
it's really good. Really.
But yeah, we'll get back on topic. So basically, they put the celebration starts today and continues through to November 15th, which is the 20th anniversary. So it said hashtag Xbox 20. So this celebration is all about you, as in us. And we want to hear hear what Xbox means to you. So use the hashtag Xbox 20 on social media to share all your favorite memories of Xbox, and there'll be spotlight answers all the way from now till November 15th. Check out the Xbox Gear Shop for the first wave of 20th anniversary official gear and merchandise. So the first lot's already up. There is a pretty cool Master Chief 20th pillow and t-shirt. It's all gold with like Master Chief's the 0 on the number. There is a 20th anniversary of Xbox trucker cap, a thermal mug, a personalizable just normal mug, which you can put your gamer score on the back. However, my gamer score's too big, so that went out the window and I didn't buy it. Like a tote bag and sort of a Xbox 20th t-shirt as well. Now, there's going to be more added soon. The prices aren't too bad unless you're in the UK, because if you buy that mug for £10 something, there's about a £10 something postage charge. So it's a big fuck you to anyone who's not in America. But
thanks.
Yeah, basically that's it. I prefer the FanFest stuff. The FanFest merchandise I think is a lot nicer, but I am tempted to pick up the Master Chief 20th t-shirt because it's the only time you're going to get a 20th anniversary Halo t-shirt. So that's pretty cool. So it's a show off your Xbox and Halo love with free anniversary themed wallpapers. Register for FanFest to participate in 20th anniversary FanFest activities, including exclusive sweepstakes, FanFest gear, and digital experiences. However, there's nothing to sign up for at the moment. You're just going to register, and when they go live, you'll be able to sort of like click I want to join. Same with all the other stuff. Personalize your Xbox experience. Check out the new 20-year gamer pick and the original profile theme in your custom profile menu. And also the dynamic backgrounds out. Looking for something new to play, check out this collection. So they've listed basically the greatest games that are from Xbox's history to have a look at. Or just search Xbox Anniversary in the Xbox Store. They've started doing live streams of like classic games like Halo Combat Evolved from the Master Chief collection, and we'll keep the fun going through November with more announcements, activities, and ways to celebrate. And you can visit xbox.com/20 years for up-to-date details on anniversary activities throughout the year. So yeah, not a lot's been announced so far, but at least they've announced something. But I feel like it's all leading up to Halo's ultimate release.
Yeah. Like I really hope that they do something special for this E3, because it's 20 years of Xbox, and especially after last generation where Xbox almost died and now it's in its best shape as it's ever been. I think it needs to have something special during this year's E3 actually. Not necessarily only when Halo releases, but simple as that.
Yeah, I know.
I pre-ordered my anniversary T-shirt yesterday.
I'm going to try and pick mine up this week at some point. Like I say, it's just trying to get. I've got to put a big enough order in to bring the price down on the shipping to warrant getting it, basically, because it's so expensive.
Would it be cheaper for me and you to do a bulk order together and then you ship it to me from yours? I imagine it would work out cheaper.
It only cost me like £3 to send it from my house to yours. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah. I really want the one with the Master Chief on in gold and the 20 beneath it.
That's called
beautiful.
Networking.
I was looking, I was like, I'm going to get that achievement light, the trophy, I want the cup, and then I want the FanFest anniversary hoodie with my gamer tag on the back. I was like, I'll just wear it all at once and look like a right knob.
You just want it all, right?
You say a right knob?
Yeah, like
He
a right
did.
knob. Yeah.
We'll sit here in all the merch and call ourselves the Impartial Podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
Xbox everywhere.
I'll be
Simple as
I'll be
that.
strutting down the street like a pimp in it, like look.
But Xbox stands is what we are.
Meeting his bitches outside the
God.
chippy.
Yeah, the girls are gonna be going wild.
Yeah, they love your
Green.
Xbox One trucker
Oh.
hats. That's what they want.
Look at that Xbox guy.
It's okay, I've got KY, I'm sponsored.
Hey, ladies.
I'm sponsored by Toys for Bob. Okay, I
Yeah.
just want to
Toys
point out
for
that.
Bob.
So, walking down the street with your fully branded Xbox outfit, your bucket of Kentucky under one arm, your KY jelly in the other hand. Yes.
And you got your night goggles on too. You're ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
All right.
If my brain was in Psychonauts 2, this is what you guys would be seeing.
There's rumours that Adidas are working on Xbox trainers as well, so I can wear some Xbox
Oh.
trainers and I'll the full outfit then. Like that's it, sorted.
We got the Nike
Right,
PS5 trainers, haven't you? So
Yeah, but they're awful. I hope the Adidas ones.
they're
look
pretty
nice.
bad.
The
My friend has the Halo trainers. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys have
nice.
ever seen them. They're really nice. He
no.
wore them to work once. He was like, these are pretty much the only time they've been out the box. I was like, what are you doing, you madman? Take them off. They're going to get ruined.
I'm assuming the Adidas ones will be like the other Adidas ones. You have to like bid to try and actually win the chance to buy them on the app. There's like
Yeah,
they've got an app, and like I tried to get the Towelie South Park shoes the other week, and I didn't even get. I wasn't even allowed to give them my money. I didn't get. I wasn't good enough. I didn't win the ticket to get to pay them. So I think Bob's just blinded himself. So
I thought
Is it like-
I'll turn them on. Not a good idea in a bright room. Oh man.
Are these Adidas trainers like Ferrari, where they release a new version of a car for £1 million, but you can't buy it? They'll ring you and tell you it's coming out and ask if you want to buy it.
yeah, there's literally an Adidas app for like limited edition shoes, and you have to bid. You have to put all your payment details in advance, and then they pick from that list the people who actually get them, and then they bill the people who win them. So,
Jeez.
yeah, you basically have to commit to buy them to go into a raffle to actually buy them, which is so annoying. So, but these Towelie ones, they were like towel, the blue towel material. Oh, we've lost Fabio. He must have had to go. Blue towel material, and the eyes on it, when it went into good, they got a certain amount of UV, they got bloodshot. So,
It's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board. This sounds great.
And unfortunately, I didn't win them. They were like 95 quid, so it was probably a good job I didn't win them. But they were pretty. So yeah,
Trainers are a huge business at the moment, aren't they? Especially with younger people. Like my nephew, he's just turned 18, and he's got a pair of Nikes. I'm not sure which version they are, because Nikes are Nikes. They were all Air Max when I was growing up. And he keeps them in a Perspex box in his room when he's not wearing them, and make sure they're clean. And when he goes out, he doesn't tie the laces because that'll damage the laces. And then when he gets home, he cleans them back off and puts them back in a Perspex box. That's just too much for me.
Have I got
No,
a
wait.
story for you? When my sister's ex, he loved shoes so much that one time when we went on vacation, this was like a long time, this was like 10 years ago. But when we went on vacation one time to a lake house, okay, for a week, a lake house. We were just gonna be doing water stuff, water-based stuff because it's a lake, right? My parents and I came there earlier, and then my sister came there with her ex, like maybe a couple hours earlier. And I remember this vividly, like as if like it just happened. My dad and I were standing on the balcony of the house, and we see them pull up, and then my sister's ex comes out of the car. He goes to his trunk, and he brings out a garbage bag, a black garbage bag, and he's just like carrying it. We're just like, "What's that?" And he's like, "My sneakers." We're like, "What? Are you serious?" Like, "Yeah, man. Gotta stay fly all the time." Like, all right, cool.
Fly.
Oh man,
Pretty fly for a white guy.
It was so funny.
Jesus.
People love their shoes, like Jordans. I get Michael Jordan shoes. Like people are obsessed with that shit. I'm like,
He's an
what
awesome guy, by the way. Don't think that I really enjoyed his company. He was awesome.
Some backtracking of memory.
He's a great guy. He's just a knob.
No. It was just funny. It was just funny because it was related
I love
to the
it in
shoot.
Britain.
He's a great guy, but he's a knob. I love it.
I love the way you guys talk.
This is me toned down.
We haven't even chucked out a wanker yet.
It's not. I
That
throw
way-
the C word around like I'm saying hello.
Yeah, I really hold back on you. In
Yeah.
The way
Britain, the
you
C
all
bomb
leave
is
out
just
the
like
P
a normal
sound,
word.
like in words better. I love that shit.
Fun fact: first episode, I didn't swear the entire episode until the end, and I was like, "Well, not swear on the podcast." And then Fabio was flung some out, and I was like, "Well, if Fabio's doing it, I can do it now. It's fine." So
Like,
I did try. I didn't say we
like
weren't swearing. I just thought we would try and do it.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, like 10 minutes ago, he was like, "Shit, fuck," or something like that. And I was like, "Well, there goes that." And since then,
No, but
we've been a mature audience only podcast.
Not for kids.
There goes that Barbie sponsorship.
Damn it.
my laptop's gonna die soon.
Right, we'll move on to the next
Shall we
topic
move
before
on?
Alucard dies on us. He doesn't
This is the
die.
short
his
one,
laptop
remember?
died. Yeah. So, does someone want to jump on this? This is about the coalition. Does someone want to take over?
Okay, I
Uh,
think I can do that. Is my audio okay?
Sound good?
Okay, there we go. So the coalition is moving to next gen development using Unreal Engine 5. There you have it. So they made a post on their website talking about their games that they already released, like Gears 5, Gears 5 Hive Buster, and as well as Gear Statics. They thank everybody for playing it, but they are saying that we are excited to continue that tradition by development on Unreal Engine 5 for multiple new projects in the coming years. What does this mean for our current titles? Gears 5 has content on the way. We will continue to release new operations through Operation 7 and 8. And because of that, since they are shifting to a new engine, this is a big undertaking, they want to be clear that they won't be announcing any new projects or titles for some time. So, what do you think about that?
That means nothing new at E3.
Yeah, no
I think
Halo, no Gear
Because
6.
the fanboys told me Sony bought the Unreal Engine 5 engine for $250 million.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah, they said they said that Unreal Engine 5 was exclusive, right? So,
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't. I guess it.
Part of their
Well,
big deal with Epic.
But like for those who really are addicted to Gears 5's multiplayer, probably I don't know, it's not confirmed yet, but for what I can see here, because they said that they will continue to release new content through Gears 5 on Operation 7 and 8. So does that mean that Gears 5 will end its support on Operation 8 and that's it?
I don't think
Maybe.
so.
Gears 5? Or are they going to continue to update that with new things?
I don't know.
I think they'll continue because Gears is in esports, so they'll probably continue to some kind of update with it. I think.
We hope so, but like they need to. But like depending on what they think depending on what they intend to do with Gear 6 of how big and complex that game is going to be, they will need all their teams to work on it. How many employees that the coalition has? It's less
Yeah,
than
like
343 for what I know.
I thought they had like 500. So
I think that's 343, right? Or does the coalition has also 500 employees?
I think they both have very similar. But I mean, Halo, I don't know. I mean, I know they hire like independent people as well, but I think Halo does have a bigger team, but Gears has a really big team though. I'm sure they have over 200 or 300. I'm sure.
But like, I'm gonna tell you that I like that they are going to use a Real Engine 5. But I was really thinking that Bethesda is now Xbox, that the coalition would try to use the ID engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, the ID engine for Gears, that would be fantastic.
Any thoughts on that, or should we move on?
I think Unreal Engine and Gears goes hands in hand. It's always been used as a demonstration of what the engine can do. As much as Sony now are, they're chucking in 200 million in here and there and trying to get demos, that team is going to push that engine hard. When Gears 6 drops and people see it, it's going to be a beautiful looking game. I mean, like Gears 4, for example, was, it was a good looking game. And there was one moment where you're in the rain and there's lightning everywhere and you're trying to climb those massive cogs to get on the outside of a building. And I remember just stopping on my 1X back at the time and looking at it because you could see the raindrops going down the armor and going into bigger raindrops and working its way down. It's just incredible. I think,
You mean that section of the game where it was their first trailer of announcement for Gears 4, right?
Yeah, but then when you're playing it, you can stop and actually move the camera to get really close, and you can see it in real time. It's not cutscene; it's actually doing it as you play.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Yeah, they're going to be gone for a while. Apparently, they're doing a smaller game, aren't they, to kind of get the hang of it before Gears 6? Is the rumor they're doing 2 games, one smaller.
Gears 2 remastered.
Yeah, there's nothing here talking about that. There's absolutely nothing here talking about that. They just said that it's going to be a while.
Marcus Phoenix
before
collection.
Any new announcement.
Man.
We hope so.
Collection.
We hope so. Goddamn.
Maybe unless they're making like Hive Busters, like a base spin-off.
Hive Busters was fantastic. I think a lot of people complained about Gears 5 about the pacing because it went to that open world and there wasn't enough to do in there. It was a good idea, but there was a lot of just surfing across sand waiting to get to the next bit. So for a Gears game where it's literally cover shoot, it broke it up a bit too much. Hive Busters got rid of that and it was straight back to story, shooting, cover, story, shooting, cover. It got back to that cycle, which I think the last 2 missions of Gears 5 were the best Gears I've played. I don't want to ruin it in case anyone hasn't played it, where you're fighting the big Kraken thing and you're running through the city trying to save and you have to choose a couple of options. And
spoilers.
Yeah, I think I don't want to go too far. I don't want to mention anymore.
I loved what you did there. A couple of options. Okay.
Yeah, a couple of options. I think the last 2 levels of Gear 5 and then Hive Busters is some of the best Gears has ever done. And I think they're going into Gears 6 hitting full pelt. They know what works for what they do.
I'm not gonna lie, like in my opinion, Gears 5 for me, if we ignore Master Chief Collection and Rare Replay, Gears 5 in my opinion was the best Xbox exclusive for the Xbox One generation, in my opinion. But I get it that some people would, and I loved the open world sections. Like I wanted to explore everything just because I wanted to grab all the robot components, the Jack one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved the Jack upgrade system. I thought it was awesome. So.
I love Gears. I think a lot of people played Gears 4 and switched off because I'll admit, as a Gears fan, the first half of number 4 was boring. When you're fighting just the DBs and it's building up, something's going to happen. It was really boring and I pushed through. But then when you get to the bit where you meet Marcus and then his tomato plants are getting blown up, as he says, and you're on the back of a motorcycle trying to shoot down planes, it really hits his stride from there on. So halfway through 4, it becomes a great game. And 5, I loved 5. So yeah, the first half of 4, I think, turned a lot of people off. And I think most people who slate the game haven't played 5. They just played the beginning of 4 and gave up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like the biggest problem in my opinion with Gears 4 that it's not considered to be, it's not necessarily a problem in my eyes, because like the biggest problem were the characters. The characters were not very good at the start. Like JD is the typical hero that likes to act by impulse, and everything works out for him. No worries, no matter how crazy his idea is, it works. Del is his sassy sidekick and best friend. That's it. Kate is the badass woman. Fair enough, awesome. But like, I think that, of course, it's going to be really difficult for for Gears 4 to have to be a better game than Gears 2 and Gears 3, because like it's the start of a brand new trilogy. So if you compare Gears 1 with every other single game, Gears 1 is like really weak in comparison with the other ones. So I think it's fair to say that Gears 4 is not necessarily a masterpiece, but it is a really good game, especially because if you consider that it is a start of a new trilogy and a new generation of Gears. Simple as that.
Yeah, like I said, the second half is fantastic of Gears 4. I think, like you said, it's a tough act to follow. You got Marcus, Coltrane, Beard, and Dom as characters, and then you're going into a new game of meet these new guys. It's like, but I fucking love those other guys. It's gonna take a while to win me over.
When the focus of the game changed do you remember those guys? AK became really bad.
Yeah. I think number 5 moving to Kate is a good idea. I think that worked really well.
Yeah, I like Kate. I like Kate a lot.
Especially for... Go on, Bob.
If you want to look at it as two different trilogies, with the second trilogy being JD's trilogy and the first one being Mark. Gears 1 started out really slow as well, and then by the time to the end of 1 and all the way through 2 and 3, I mean, you were just banging. And then
like
people got 4, you were back at the beginning of another story, and it started out slow, but that's to be expected.
I think it was more not that it was slow, it's just the robots weren't fun to fight, and they were half the game.
I think it's funny how people like to say that Gears is such an emotional game and such an emotional franchise. Like, it just became that after Gears 2. Simple as that. Gears 1 has nothing of that. It doesn't even have that much focus on story on Gears 1. In my opinion, actually. And like, Gears 4, I do understand the criticism. I do have criticisms towards that game, but I still like it. But Gears 5 is simply like, it blew my mind what they accomplished there.
I made a video on my channel about the original trilogy and the loss each character suffers throughout it. So they all suffer different types. You got Marcus, who's trying to impress his father and live up to his name, but can't quite do it. You got Cole, who literally hits his peak as a performance athlete, and then these bastards come through the ground and everything's ripped away from him. You got Beard, who's this genius. He decides to join the army because he can't impress his parents, and that very day, D-Day happens. And then you got Dom, whose loss is his wife's taken from him and he can't find her. And like you said, none of that is really in the first game. It's not explained. But then the second and third game, you get to know the characters, you get to know what they've lost over time, and that's when it really hits its stride. It's about 4 guys who are pulled together because they've all lost something on different levels, and they're never going to get it back because the world's going to be changed by the time the war's over.
And then in the end of their trilogy, they became brothers. Like, really awesome.
Most of them. Spoilers.
Most of God damn it. Son of a bitch. Don't remind me of that. But like, really excited for what is to come with Gear 6. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sadly, I wish we had any other small projects like Gear Static. I am really enjoying that game.
It's amazing. I gave it a 9 out of 10 when I reviewed it. I think it's like XCOM, but better. They streamlined it and made it more visceral. Yeah. I won't do a 10-minute review of that in case I review it bad. I love that game.
Problems. Too much cover. Simple as that.
Too much Unreal Engine.
Yeah, we'll move on to next topic, which is Xbox announced that Dolby Vision Atmos is coming to the Xbox Series X and Series S, which will be the first games consoles ever with gaming in to have it, basically. So, yeah, it works on films and stuff, but it's going to be the first games to utilize this.
Like Game Rant just made a post one day ago saying that the news comes from after Xbox Larry Major Nelson revealed that on Twitter through his Major Nelson handle that Dolby Vision gaming has begun rolling out to Xbox Series X and S consoles enrolled with the Xbox Insider Alpha Ring. The potential for HDR remains untapped as many monitors and TVs are yet to implement more substantial support for the future. Though fans have known about Dolby Vision gaming coming to Xbox for a while, having official confirmation solidifies the news. So, yeah, nice.
Yeah, not much to talk about there.
But... does anyone has a TV that supports that?
No.
Nope.
No, absolutely
not. So that's it. Let's move on.
It's nice that it shows that waiting for that RDNA 2 was worth it though, because we're getting these extra abilities, these extra software and programming and sort of like additions. But we can't give you a feedback on it because none of us are in the insider program at Alpha that I know of, and none of us have a telly that'll use it right now. But it's nice to see it come in, and it's a nice sort of. It does make your games look beautiful from what I've seen the pictures of it. So I'm hoping one day my telly will work on something like that, and I'll have a nice new telly to test it all on.
Nice.
They could do more comparison videos now.
Yeah.
Dolby Vision better than HDR10.
Digital Foundry's made up for months.
I still think Digital Foundry lives off of the console wars, even though they say they don't. But
yeah, I used to love Digital Foundry, and when they had the breakdown of the Series X and they got invited there, I was so excited. I love this stuff, but the comments and the people who follow them has just turned so toxic. It's hard to enjoy a video. People arguing over blades of grass or 3 frames per second and stuff is unbelievable. Whereas last gen, nobody gave a shit. Like, it was just people enjoyed the videos.
Like, I never thought I would have lived to see a moment in gaming where loading times would be better than frame rates for some people. Never thought that would happen ever.
I'm sorry, but like Red Dead is in quick resume. That's no loading times to load that game if it's in quick resume. It's fantastic. I love quick resume.
Oh, don't get us started on what is quick resume, Gina.
You wasn't there a fanboy where Gina was arguing about quick resume, something like that?
People who've not experienced quick resume don't get what quick resume is. They're like, oh, we have activity cards. Look,
and it's
just
like,
load checkpoints. That loads you
they?
To a checkpoint. If you on Returnal, for example, which has 3-hour checkpoints, and you can't turn your console off or go to another game, that doesn't help you. Quick resume, you could turn it off, go to bed, unplug it, take it to another room, turn your Xbox on, you'd be exactly where you left it. You haven't wasted 2-3 hours of your life between checkpoints. So your game might load 6 seconds quicker, but all I have to do is use quick resume once, and I've saved, like 100 load times on you. So it's just, they just don't get it. And a guy posted a video to me and Ash, funny enough, going, no, PlayStation has quick resume, watch this. And what he posted us proves it doesn't have it. And we just said, excellent, you did our job for us. That shows you do not have what you're talking about. And then he blocked us and deleted all his tweets. So, it's just fun. Like, people don't get it. Like, but it all started because I put a tweet up saying, quick resume is my favorite feature this generation. I hope Sony can get it on PS5 and more people can enjoy it. And somehow that involved me getting attacked by people saying I don't know what I talk about and I'm pro Xbox. I'm like, I want you to have this. It's so good. Give it to everyone.
Yeah, it was funny. And basically, they were saying that I was like trying to explain, like, if I'm mid boss fight, because I have done this in Assassin's Creed, I can literally be throwing a hit at someone, shut my console off, go and do something, come back 2 days later after playing 3 other games, and when I switch it back on, I am literally mid-swing, and I will continue that fight exactly where I left off. That doesn't mean loading it to the door before the boss. That's what the PlayStation 5 can do, which is still great. But we've always had checkpoints. That's what checkpoints are for. I was literally trying to explain that isn't quick resume. That's just a quick way of loading a certain checkpoint by using a really finicky way of having to go into a menu, finding that exact activity card, which in itself takes longer than just clicking play the game. But I didn't even mention that to them. but it was just funny. And I keep seeing this online, people trying to downplay quick resume, and quick resume is literally the best thing I found from this generation. Load times are great, frame rate's great, but being able to jump between like 3 or 4 games and be exactly where I was last time I played it to that spot is it just saves you so much time, and it means I don't have to worry if I have to rush out somewhere. I literally just put the pad down and go out. I don't have to like, oh, hang on, 5 minutes, I've got to go save my game quickly. I've got to wait till I get to the next checkpoint. You don't have to do that. You literally just put the pad down, switch the console off, you're done.
But here's the thing. Here's where the toxic flame fanboys come and say, but why would I play 3 to 4 games at the same time?
Someone actually commented that. Why would I play more than one game at a time?
Because they can't afford it, because they're 70 quid each.
I know. Xbox has no games, but you guys will only play one at a time. Like, pick a narrative. Jesus Christ. It was fun, though. It was a fun afternoon of them proving our point for us.
Yeah, well, we should have screenshotted it for cringe, but we didn't, unfortunately.
I did.
Oh, you did, but they deleted some of them, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I got some.
Yeah,
I have other Twitter accounts for different things I do, so I can always go and find it.
Exactly. Go on then, Fabio. I can see you dying at you're like, I need to move to the next topic. So
no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's just because I was going to ask, does anyone has any link to talk about the next topic or something like that?
Right, I'll jump on this one then. Ubisoft quickly said in an investor thing that they were expecting to. Well, what originally came out was they said they were going to focus on free-to-play games over AAA games, but I've since read something that said that was misquoted, and what they're saying is they expect revenue to be much higher from free-to-play games over their AAA games, which is obvious. I mean, when you look at stuff like Fortnite and stuff like that, it's kind of a non-story, but they've said that they're not only are they going to focus on the AAA games going forward, but they're also going to be changing how they develop games, and they'll not just pump out AAAs all the time. They'll probably also be focusing on these like free-to-play and sort of live service games, basically. So there's not much to it right now, and there's a lot of conflicting reports. And even when I was looking before the episode, I was like, this could mean about 4 different things based on what 4 different people have posted. So I will look into it, and if it is important, we'll mention it next week. But right now, it's basically Ubisoft saying in one of their conversations that it looks like AAAs aren't the be-all and end-all when it comes to revenue, which is a known thing. Like, look at Fortnite, do you know what I mean? So...
Basically, with that, nobody can complain with Ubisoft that they are adding too much microtransactions into their games, because since the game is already free to play, then simple as that.
The amount of microtransactions in Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the moment is mad. You can buy so much extra stuff. Like you can buy they've just come out. You can ride a lion around, and I'm going to buy it because I want to ride a lion around instead of a horse, but still, it's unnecessary.
You've given up on historical accuracy, I take it.
I'm currently riding an elk or like a deer with like lightning eyes, so you can get a Pegasus horse with like wings. I mean, yeah, they've just given up. In this new DLC, there's werewolves, so...
Oh, fuck off.
I bet they gutted Resident Evil beat them by a week.
I just love how, it's so bad that they added so many microtransactions into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I still buy the fucking horse.
Damn right. There's a lot though. I mean, there's multiple. There's probably 20 different packs for your town scenery. There's different ship skins and figureheads. It's like Sea of Thieves. There's that many Sea of Thieves. Have got that many. But Sea of Thieves, like I say, at least it's on Game Pass. But Assassin's Creed, you can get different figureheads and ship sails and different costumes and stuff and different birds. Like you can get a little fiery dragon instead of a raven. I was like, which is great. It looks ace, but it's a single player game that I'm eventually going to finish. It's not like Sea of Thieves or a live service game where I'll keep playing it. There's going to be a point where I've done everything in this game. I'm not going to play it again. So I don't want to spend a lot of money on it like that, unfortunately.
I haven't played the latest one. Is Desmond still in you? Is he still in a machine and you're reliving his memories?
Man,
right.
you need
yeah,
to
you're way
no,
behind.
No,
Desmond is in it though,
you are.
or
Oh my
supposedly
God.
Desmond is in it, but I don't want
Right,
to
but
spoil
are we
it.
still you're reliving memories from somebody in a machine? Is that
Yes.
still happening, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so not at any point is this person during this game or even the next one going to wake up out of the machine and go, guys, I think this is having an effect on me. I was in Northern Ireland riding Pegasuses. I had a dragon on my arm. Like, I don't think this shit is accurate anymore. Like, what's going on? They just gave up on the whole story just to.
Don't you spoil sport
Yeah.
my game.
Sure.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
they
like
don't really give focus to like those weird little like you said, like the line and stuff like that. That's just like something that the player, is able to choose. But like they do still kind of have that narrative where they do have the bleeding effect and they do actually talk about what happened during their time in the Animus.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, the
But
store
still-
is called the Animus store, so maybe they're just saying, well, we've like modded it in like Matrix. That's probably how they get around it. It's
But still, it's been a while since they changed completely the identity from Assassin's Creed.
I mean, yeah.
Ash was playing recently Ezio's collection, and like in comparison with what he was playing on Valhalla, what is your reaction?
they're not
to
even the
that?
same game, really. The only thing similar is the assassins, which, to be fair, right, the amount that they talk about the assassins in Valhalla is super small, really. They're like,
Yeah.
Whereas like the Ezio collection, like the focus is the assassins and their story. The assassins are like just sat walking around, like they're little side characters until like the end. They're not the main focus. But it does follow on it. So Origins was like a soft reboot, so you could technically play from Origins onwards, but it does also follow on. So I don't ask how, but it does.
I mean, it's a different genre now. It's no longer really a stealth game anymore. It's more of an action RPG. So.
Yeah.
So,
With stealth elements, actually.
Yeah.
Let's point out that.
Do you know what? In this new DLC, I haven't stealth once. I'm so powerful. I don't even look at what I'm attacking. I just run in, and I know I'm not going to die. I am so powerful in it. I just feel like a badass warrior, which is what I wanted from the game when I saw the trailers and stuff. So now I don't have to worry about sneaking. Even if it tells me to sneak, I don't. I just run in, and I literally just pagger everything. I'll just take everyone on. I just take
that game
on like 12
almost
people
like
at once, and I don't care. It's great.
Like that game is
Okay.
just more about this. I feel like just whipping ass.
It is now,
That's
yeah.
all.
Has it got more Dynasty Warriors than Assassin's Creed? Is that what's happened?
And it reminds me that combat is a lot like Batman. So you'll just like parry off everyone and stuff, but like
You're talking about the older games, right?
But it's not as strategic.
No, the new one is it's
The new ones.
It's not. You just plow through them basically.
Yeah.
It's really hard to explain.
You get to a point where you just like Ash said, like you get so powerful that it really like nothing matters. Like in the beginning, you're like kind of like still struggling. You have to kind of like focus on stealth. You have to kind of still like be careful.
Mm-hmm.
But then like once you get to a certain point in the game, you're just like, oh well, this is just literally at that point you're just kind of just playing, and just killing shit left and right, and then
Like
you really
that.
You play like a badass Viking basically.
That is a nice difference in comparison with the older games, because in the older games it doesn't matter which part of the story you are. If you just started the game and you know how to use the combat system, you are a god. You can kill no matter what.
The only time I died in the DLC in 14 hours was from jumping off the cliff the wrong way. Instead of doing the leap of faith, I jumped off and
that makes sense.
Plummeted to my death. The rest of the time, I think I lost 2 bars of health in one fight, and then on the last boss I didn't even lose 1 bar of health fully. That's how overpowered it is. But it's still fun because the combat feels so good, and you're literally just destroying people basically.
You feel like a god. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. But we'll move on. We will move on to our last topic.
It sounds like a Narita boy. That's number 4. One more, I get my tenner.
Something else that sounds like Narita boy.
Hey, 10 quid.
Starfield there's been lots of discussion online about Starfield, and also a couple of leaks have dripped out this last couple of days. So there's been some images leaked of it, supposedly of it. We don't actually know if this is really Starfield, but it probably is. From test builds from 2018. They don't really show anything. It's like, here's a picture of a door. Here's a picture of a door frame. Here's a helmet, and that's about it. And then that lit up. This whole argument's been going off for about a week now of will it or won't it be exclusive to Xbox? Is my plastic box defunct? I'm going to rage and cry because my plastic box may not get it. I used to love Starfield. Starfield's coming to PlayStation 5. Boom. To what is Starfield 5? What is Starfield? Do you know what I mean?
Was that J-Dub by any chance?
Yeah, but like here's the thing. It all started with Randy Alford making a tweet saying, I had a bunch of messages and super chats about Starfield today where people were saying that Jeff Grubb said that it wasn't exclusive or whatever. And then Jeff Grubb replied that saying Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC, period. This is me confirming that. And everyone went crazy, like, why is this something different from what we thought before? Like, Bethesda is now part of Xbox. Xbox now owns Starfield. Is this a surprise to anyone like that? Oh my god, Starfield is going to be exclusive. Like, even with Phil saying that the idea for them to do this partnership with Bethesda was to bring brand new and nice exclusives to the platforms, goddammit. Why is this something that changes everything right now?
It's people wishing and hoping that, the games that they always used to play on PlayStation, they still get, they still be able to.
Are still people thinking that Bethesda is going to be fully multiplayer? Really?
Yeah. People still...
Well, the game won't be good if it's multiplayer, so that's why. That's
God damn it, man.
It was an interview from
who cares
about 4 or 5 months ago saying he doesn't know whether Starfield's coming to PlayStation.
Not only Starfield, but also Elder Scrolls. I think Jim Ryan said that. I don't know if Elder Scrolls is going to release on PlayStation.
It's funny because there's people saying, well, they must have had contracts in place, so if it doesn't come, they'll sue them. And Sony's going to sue Xbox into the grounds because they're denying these games they've already been working on. And it's like, well, the guy who runs your company has said that he doesn't know. So there's nothing in place. They haven't signed like a timed exclusive like they do with the Final Fantasies or anything. They've literally said, we don't know. So what makes you think they signed the contract and about to sue him? And like Ash was laughing about, you put the J-Dub thing up. There's so many pro PlayStation people on Twitter who were putting things up saying Starfield exclusive and nuclear bombs going off and what have you. And this is the end of the console war. And now it's come out from Jeff Grubb, there's going to be only Xbox. They're going, what even is this game? You guys are hyping something that doesn't exist. And it's like, no, you guys were hyping it. We got the pictures a couple of months ago. This was the be-all and end-all. And they put these tweets up saying, why are you hyping this? And people are literally just posting their tweets back at them saying, you were hyping it. It's you. A couple of months ago, you were the guy all over it.
I love to see people trying to argue and saying that Bethesda is trash just because of Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Like, or its Metacritic scores for other games. Like, holy fucking shit, man.
Funnily enough,
again, why are people discussing about that?
Speaking of J-Dub again, he was the one earlier who put a picture up of loads of trash cans with games above it in their scores. And I posted one of his tweets back at him, which said, playing Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield on my PS5. That's the tweet. Can't wait, or something stupid like that. And I just posted that picture back at him going, come on, you're better than this. You were raving about him a couple of months ago. They can't have gone trash overnight because apparently you might not be getting them. It's stupid.
God.
That's stupid.
Oh, God.
They all got super PC gaming rigs anyway, so I don't know why they're complaining.
Any other comments about that? Because really, to be honest, again, why are people discussing about that? Isn't that already obvious? Like that this is something that is probably gonna happen.
It's just they're scared, and for some reason they get upset and scared that another console may get games, and it's just silly. But they can't argue Xbox has no games when it does, and they don't like that.
Like I've been on things saying about how great Kenna looks, and Sifu, S-I-F-U, I don't know how to pronounce it. The guys who made Absolver, that game looks fantastic. Ratchet and Clank looks great, and I'm on Twitter saying how great these games look. And for one moment you say an Xbox game looks good, even on an Xbox thread, my god, you're attacked immediately by hundreds of people.
Here's the thing. I think that there's something really funny with Sifu here in Brazil, because here's the thing: they released a demo for Sifu, and they named it as Sifu demo, right? Okay. And here's the thing: Sifu demo in Brazilian language is "we're fucked." Translated. Okay. Damn. So everybody is laughing about that here.
Demo. The all new demo. What does that mean?
It is silly though. People arguing over crap, and it's not going to stop. But it's just funny. It's funny. It's weird that if Xbox has an exclusive, it's bad, but if Sony has exclusive, it's good. It's very odd. It's pointless, and it'll all get put to bed at E3 one way or another. I mean, it's been quite heavily hinted that it's going to be exclusive. All the insiders that are reputable are saying it. Phil basically said they were focusing on Xbox ecosystem only, which is where Game Pass is. So that doesn't include PS5. So from my take, I would say it's not coming to PS5. We may be wrong, but we will find out at E3. There's no point fighting on Twitter over it.
But here's the thing: would you say that they are going to show anything about it on E3, and we just lost Bob there?
I think so.
Yeah, they're gonna show it.
I think it's time. Something.
Yeah, I think it's time.
It's the typical Bethesda thing. They'll show it now and say it's ready before end of the year to launch. They always do that.
Bob, any opinions about that?
Yeah, I think they're not going to show anything until they're really, really close to release. That's what Bethesda does. When they did Fallout 76, the very first time anybody saw Fallout 76 was at E3 with Todd Howard on stage, and it was out literally 3 months after that.
But I feel like you learned from that mistake. I hope, at least.
so maybe if Starfield appears at E3, that means that probably Starfield is going to be released this year alongside with Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Nice.
And with that, then we shall round out this show. Just over 2.5 hours, and that's me jinxing it by saying it was going to be a short one before we started. One last thing, though.
About that
it did.
Okay?
One last thing quickly. We were mentioning it earlier. Bright Memory 1.0 has had a price drop for the next 2 weeks on Xbox. It's only £5.35 or $6.39. So if you've got an X or a Series S, grab it. It's only like a half-hour game, but you need to play it like 3 or 4 times to get all the achievements and that. But it's good fun. And while it's like £3 off, 20% off, it's worth definitely picking up. But I've just seen someone post about it, so I thought I'd shout that out since we were just talking about it. But yeah, big thank you to everyone who's been watching live, chatting in the comments. Big thank you to all you people who listen later on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere this podcast goes. Big thank you to you guys. Even to all you that watch it later on YouTube, because we always see a big spike later in the week when people catch up with it. We are extremely grateful. It's great to know people actually want to watch us rant on for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours some days. So big thank you to you guys, and a big thank you to all you guys for joining us again as usual. And you can find us all on YouTube, Twitter, and all that. The guys who've got YouTube are linked in the YouTube channel, so you can see the links to all their personal channels as well. And I will put a link to everyone's Twitter profiles on the YouTube chat, like on the information. And you can find the podcast. We'll be back next Saturday, 8 o'clock British Standard Time. And you can find us on all the social media platforms at XBL Party Podcast. And other than that, have any of you guys got anything to say before we sign off and enjoy the rest of our day?
One thing I want to say.
Is it Narita Bob?
Can we appreciate KY Bob's guns? He looks like a Gears of War character right now. Look at that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that man. Jesus.
Someone frame that and make a Photoshop so he can look.
I mean, look at his background.
Gears of War 6 confirmed.
All those Gears of War posters and everything, that's his inspiration right there.
That's it. Sandra says that KY Bob is going to voice act Marcus Phoenix in the next game.
Oh, that's funny.
Insider. only the best inside knowledge here on the XBL Party Podcast.
Don't believe in you.
And don't forget KFC, give us a call. I want that booking next week.
100%.
I'll do it.
Also, Toys for Bob.
Yeah.
Toys for Bob.
Duracell be on the phone to him before you know it.
That's so funny.
We have your boss here right with us, so there we have it.
But yeah, thank you guys very much. Thank you to everyone listening again, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah,
Thank you
guys. Have a good one, everybody.
Good fun as always, guys.
See you later.